Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Murderous Symphony. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Josh, and I'll be your dungeon master tonight. We're thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. A Murderous Symphony takes place in Neverwinter, roughly 2 to 3 weeks after the events of At Death's Door and Caesar Defiance. The bloat has been slowly disappearing. However, there have been reports of people throughout the city going missing. Our players have been hired as private investigators to look into a group of murders that have taken place in the Blue Lake Theatre. Now, let's meet the players, followed by a few words from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Niall, and I'm playing Amun-ra, a far traveller from the far reaches of Zakara, come to Neverwinter hunting vampires, but maybe he has deep-seated issues himself. Maybe those things will probably come into play during this horror session we've got going on. But who knows? We'll see. Boogity boogity.
Hi, I'm Scarlett. I'll be playing Mizana from Azana's Emporium of Glorious Goods and Trade. I'm the half-elf artificer that loves to investigate and tinker. Also rides on a giant beetle.
Hi, I'm G, and I am going to be playing Rion. Rion is a pickpocket, changeling, street urchin, youngster that has grown up on the streets of Neverwinter, and currently their friend Mask has gone missing. There's a bunch of murders happening in the city, and they want to find a friend. So they're going to investigate.
Hi, I'm Sean, and I will be playing Rhododendron, or Rhodey for short. Rhododendron was last seen running for his life at the end of Isradel, the Roving House. But what has he been up to since then? Well, he's set up shop in Neverwinter with Mizana, and has just been kind of playing it a bit easy, like not really taking too many adventuring jobs, trying to play it safe. However, something about this one piqued his interest, so we'll see where that leads him.
Hi, I'm Nat. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Ak, who uses they, them pronouns. Ak is a knowledge cleric, Kenku, and they work at the Temple of Ogmar in Neverwinter under the watchful gaze of Dr. Agatha Whipplestitch, who is the mortician there, who's been taking a lot of interest in a lot of the dead bodies that have been happening in Neverwinter over the last couple of months. Who can tell why there's been loads of dead bodies? Sean can. Watch his previous campaigns. Ak has a curious mind and is excited to be given the responsibility to go out and do some investigating.
And I think with all of that, it's time to begin. Our last session began with Ak standing in the foyer area while the rest of the investigators recovered in the main area of the theatre, because I can't remember the name of it and I'm not going to embarrass myself again by getting it wrong. The clerics of Ogmar that came to aid the group with removing the bodies frantically informed Ak that Dr. Whipplestitch had gone missing outside the temple in an alleyway. Ak refused to believe them, stating that they were pranking them, and hurried back to the rest of the group. Meanwhile, Rion sat on the stage, and while bandaging themselves up, they noticed a shiny object underneath one of the tables they had just destroyed. Zana and Rhodey worked to figure out that each of the people who attacked them was a missing person, and Amun retreated to a dark corner and began the process of meditating, the sounds of heartbeats pulsing through his brain until he had it under control. As Rion picked up the item, they realised it was Masked in Shadow's dagger, and they had a vision of standing in front of the old orphanage in the snow with a young Masked in Shadows crying on the playground alone. Once everyone is back together and discussions are had about what to do next, a strange music begins to play. For Zana, Rhodey and Rion, they hear a voice in their heads that says, I'm glad I got through to you. You'll make a fine addition to my lord's experiments. But not yet. We still have some seeds to sow. Now you'll forget all about this and go back to your investigation. We will be watching your every move, and when the time is right, you will join us. Ak and Amun hear the music, but do not hear the voices in their heads. Instead, they notice their fellow investigators space out and come back to themselves with bad headaches and a small scar starting to form on the side of their faces. All of the party follow the sound of the music to three mysterious figures stood on the stage, each wearing an outfit that would suggest that they are part of some sort of an orchestra. One of them's holding a violin, another one a cello, and the last one a wand that they are waving around while the other two are playing their instruments. As the music dies down, the three figures disappear. As the party went to leave the theatre, they noticed that the employees seemed distressed and had no memory of what had happened. The group decided that they best take the employees back to the Temple of Ogmar for their own safety. Outside, one of the paladins offered to take the unconscious assassin off of Amun, who refused. They provided a set of manacles that held the wielder with a sort of like hold person spell, and Amun proceeded to carry them as if they were a duffel bag. Horatio of the Nashes approached the group and asked for a report on what had happened and said that Din and the other dead rats had long gone. After some heated words, the party left, Horatio shouting things after them. I won't repeat what he said here because they're not nice things. Approaching the gate back into the Protector's Enclave, the group found that one of the guards they had seen before was still on duty but had no memory of the party. Armin did a quick investigation and discovered that this person had been bitten and seemingly compulsed by a vampire, made to believe that they'd actually just started their shift instead of it ending. With Ak and Zana then offered to take Ak to the Temple of Ogmar a bit quicker on her beetle friend, and they both rushed off and got to the temple. As they entered the temple, they found Melnor and quickly made their way down into the Undercroft to the place where Ak and Dr. Whipplestitch work, and finding that Dr. Whipplestitch is not there, Ak then rushed back out of the temple and into the nearby alleyway. Rion and Rhodey met up with them there while Armin quickly put the unconscious assassin and theatre employees in the Undercroft. After a little bit more investigating in the alleyway, they soon discovered that there was a bunch of drag marks that led round to the back of one of the nearby houses and into a basement area, and Rion knew this to be potentially a smuggler's tunnel that are used all throughout Neverwinter. Ak tried to send a message to Dr. Whipplestitch and was greeted with a sorry. Doctor cannot come to the Sending Stone right now, but you're now under my control as well. And a small little scar began to form on Ak's head as well. Everybody returned to the Undercroft to interrogate or question the assassin, and Melnor followed, and it was quickly discovered that as well as Artie, who Ak had used Speak With Dead on before, this person had no memory of what had happened other than shopping and then a strange music. Melnor said that they would put the word out to get some more information for the party, and with the pamphlet that Zana picked up, they worked out that the disappearances happened around the same time that a group known as the Sovereign Orchestra played at various locations around the city, although this didn't fit with the attack that Armin had sustained a week prior or the disappearance of Dr. Whipplestitch. Not wanting to carry on underprepared, Zana and Rhodey decided to make a quick stop at their shop for supplies while the others went to the tunnel to scout ahead. Entering the basement in the tunnel system, Ak, Rion and Armin found a crack in the tunnel wall that led to a more natural cave formation. Walking further in, they came across ruined buildings and a large crack in the ceiling, a remnant of the ruining, but they began to hear music and the darkness of unconsciousness took over them. Meanwhile, Zana and Rhodey arrived at their shop, Zana's Imperium of Glorious Goods and Trade, and Monty Dax's Nix and Nax's, to a commotion. The person watching the shop, an owlin named Faerun Owlstorm, was trying, that may or may not be a pun, what are they called? Panagram? Anagram?
Panagram, yeah.
Panagram. And sent them to Owlin named Faerun Owlstorm was trying to find an item for a customer in the shop. Zana and Rhodey claimed Faerun harmed Faerun, and sent them up to Rhodey's shop. Zana dealt with the customer, a man with a large bow and red scales. I wonder who that is. She seemed very familiar with him, and he asked how things were going with the shop and even greeted Rhodey. Zana pulled out a wooden boat that the figure had commissioned as a housewarming gift for a friend, and then asked about some presents for some of their other friends that had been on an adventure and were due to return soon. One of them may or may not be dead, but we don't know that yet. The conversation quickly changed to what Zana and Rhodey had been up to, and the figure, who we all now know is Jakarth at this point, stated that the markings on the assassins' faces they had described sounded like spell scars, which is something that he had heard of within the organisation that he works with, but didn't know much more about, but would look for some more information and come back to them, and told them both to be careful. As Jakarth left the shop, the strange music had begun to play, and as Zana and Rhodey lost consciousness, they saw the illusion of the violin player coming out of the ground. And that is where we will pick up today. I apologise for that being a rather long one. I have a habit of doing that, and I apologise.
I got the panagram. I didn't realize last week it was a panagram, but I got it.
I will set that at the break of the last session. So keep hold of it until then.
I do have a question, Josh. Sorry, you took a big inhale. I have a question. Phaetonian Street was one of the places that we were potentially going to go. Like, I wrote down Phaetonian Street. I can't remember why.
It was, yes, Phaetonian Street was mentioned as the place that Mask and Shadows had been sent to when they disappeared.
Yeah.
And it didn't return from there. So, as our session begins, I would like not everybody, I would like anybody, you can volunteer to roll me a d6, please.
Not it.
Not it, definitely not it.
I'll do it.
Go on, G.
2. I'm doing this in the order as you appear on my Zoom because I have you all like this, so you're all in a nice little line. And would you believe it? You all begin waking up. A faint hint of orchestra music can be heard in the background. The first thing you notice is that you're all together. The second thing is that it is extremely cold. A light snow covers the ground, and as you look around, you can see the ruins of a building. Blood stains the ground leading up to its entrance, and the door is swinging in the wind almost off its hinges. However, looking through the door, you can see a strange room that doesn't match the ruins on the other side. You also notice that the ground is shaking every few seconds. Rion, you instantly recognise this as the orphanage you live at, and you also know what day it is. Can everybody roll me a perception check, please?
Sadly.
Ooh. 23.
Natural 20.
10.
11.
So glad that I wasted it on looking around.
You look around real good.
Yeah.
Good papers.
So, Rhodey, you are the first person that notices this. The air around you seems to be a bit strange. There's almost like a fog that's going around. And as you look off into the distance to where you would see Neverwinter off in the distance itself and some mountain ranges and other bits and bobs, there's this strange shimmer. And as you follow the shimmer, it seems to go up in a dome shape around this orphanage, almost like a snow globe. You seem to be inside some sort of a snow globe of some sort. Outside of the snow globe, up in the clouds, you can see a very familiar looking space that seems to have formed within the clouds. It's the sort of expressionless, faceless face of what we're going to call for the moment the conductor. And they begin letting out a very low laugh, which everybody but Amun would notice. Let us see what is buried deep within. so you may serve our masters in their upcoming plans. The symphony of madness will break each of you. What do you all wish to do?
Question. So I just see a guy up there laughing.
And you heard him say that, but you don't recognise his voice.
Oh, right. I don't recognise his voice. Okay.
Oh dear. Did anyone pack any, winter clothing? It's a bit chilly.
No, I'm starting to struggle with the same issue.
We should really try and get out of here. This isn't a good place.
Well, I'm not sure that getting out of here is going to be much of an option because we seem to be inside some sort of dome.
How?
I don't know. Is this not what you saw in your vision?
Well, yeah, this is the same place.
Do you know this place well?
I mean, I don't really remember a lot about it. Try not to think about it.
Do you think you could try and find an exit?
I will look around. I will try and remember, I guess.
Yeah, you can make me a perception check if you like.
That's guidance.
14.
You can add a d4 to that for guidance.
Thank you. 17.
17. So you know the basic layout of the orphanage is although, as you said, you have tried to push it out, and you know that there is a road that leads away from it, which is behind you. But going off of what Rhodey said, there is some sort of a force that's going to prevent you from going that way. However, you do notice that in the ruins of the building itself, where the door is that's on its hinge, there is a room beyond that doesn't look like it's in ruins and doesn't look like it's part of the building, but it's inside the building, if that makes sense.
Do I recognize it as it looks like it would have before it was in ruins, or does it look like it's a room that shouldn't be there?
It looks like it's a room that shouldn't be there. It's a room that you don't recognize.
Right, okay, cool. Then I will head for that. Look, this is different. This shouldn't be here.
Shall we try it?
I mean, I'm already heading towards it.
Seems like a good start.
Okay, so
Is the guy still there?
he's pretty much formed of a cloud and is just looking down into this snow globe, watching what you're doing.
Just before we go in, can I just pick up like a rock and yeet it at the cloud?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Pick a
to
rock
see
up
what
and
happens.
it bounces off of the almost transparent dome shape that's around.
Cool. And then I'll go inside after everyone else.
So you begin making your way up the path towards the orphanage and towards this door, and you can see that it is just completely covered in blood. You don't see any bodies anywhere, but there is a lot of blood. The snow might as well be red at this point, just completely red. And as you get to the top of the steps to the orphanage, the ground that has continued to shake this entire time is up here is more impactful. And as you look towards the building, you can see coming around the left side a giant ogre, 8 or 9 feet tall, wielding a large club. And as it spots all of you, it lets out this terrifying roar. But it seems to be amplified by the music that's playing in the background. Can everybody make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh no.
Like a Dark Souls game.
No.
13.
12? 10.
Oh, Natural 20 for a 22.
Unfortunately, natural 20s aren't auto successes. So, for
What?
all of you,
Oh.
22.
for all of you, except for Rion, you become terrified of this creature. You must spend your turns in combat, which we'll be rolling for initiative for in a minute, running or dashing. Nothing else. For Rion, you become paralyzed with fear and stop moving and drop to your knees in the snow. Can everybody roll me initiative, please?
Ah,
Five.
lordy. Also 5.
18.
16.
So Rion just kind of stands there and is just head shaking, just repeating, no, 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 as while staring at this ogre. Which bears a odd similarity to what Rion turned into earlier or previously in combat.
Indeed. And Rion, what did you roll for initiative?
Oh, initiative, sorry, yeah.
I think you were just like really beautifully narrating like a natural one on initiative.
That's 17.
Okay, so we will begin. Oh, hang on a minute. Do you know what would be really helpful? If I rolled for the creature.
Nuh-uh.
No, just leave them out there.
Right.
I can just leave them, yeah. I mean, they don't really need to go, do they?
We're already scared. It's done its job.
Right.
Okay, so at the top of the round, it is going to be Amun's turn.
Is it? I thought Misana got an 18. And
Now see,
G got higher than me as well, I think.
I got the pair of you mixed around. So Zana, it's your turn first. Ha ha ha.
I shall suddenly play Amun. So scared, have to get away. Can I see Rion? Like, I know I'm scared, but can I register that Rion is like stuck?
No.
I can't register that?
Your first thought is you need to get yourself out of here.
Am I behind Rion so I can see him in front of me as I run?
You can, yeah.
Aha! Can I try to scoop and run?
I mean, you can certainly try. Make me a strength check, athletics.
Yeah. Athletics or strength?
Go for athletics.
Okay. That's a 10. It's not bad.
Unfortunately, you go to sort of put your arms underneath Rion to try and lift them up, but there's just no give. This ogre stamps its feet on the floor and you scuttle away from it and have to force yourself to move away from Rion.
I'm gonna try and head in towards the building, but while I'm doing it, I'm like, come on, sweetheart, you gotta run!
You run, and with running and dashing, you're able to get through the door. After Zana's turn, that makes it Rion's turn. Rion, you are completely paralyzed with fear. And unfortunately, your turn is now finished. Amun, it's your turn.
Well, I will run away. I think he probably uses like all his abilities now without any sort of self-consciousness. So when he was in the dark, spider crawling, the reason he was doing it in the dark is it looks really fucking weird. It's because it looks like, you know, those horror films where they have people like crawling backwards on the ceilings and stuff, and they sort of change the frame rate so it kind of looks like they're almost cracking into place. That's what he looks like running. It's like a horrible, jointed thing where you look at it and you go, that's not right. I mean, it is, but it's just not. It's like, oh, his legs are moving across the walls, but they shouldn't be.
That's
See,
horrifying image in my head now.
you're welcome.
Nice.
Yep, you move and run, and you manage to get yourself through the door.
90 feet, please. Yes.
Rion, you are beginning to notice that the people that you thought were your friends are starting to leave you. At the end of your turn, Amun, that makes it the ogre's turn. The ogre begins moving towards Rion, but it hasn't got quite enough movement in order to get right up within 5 feet of you, so it's going to take another turn. At the end of its turn, it is Ak and Rhodey. You both need to run.
Specifically, have to use our action to run. Cannot use our
Yes.
action for anything else.
To dash, yeah.
In that case, that is what I will do.
Same.
But we'll call out, Rion, this way. Come along now.
I mean, I don't think you get any sort of reaction or response.
And in that case, I will specifically call out, "Oh, Ek!" But that's it.
Unfortunately, the words that both Miss Zana and Ak have said, trying to encourage you to come along, do not meet your ears, Rion. However, the "oh, Ek" does meet your ears as Rhodey goes through the door last. As the others run away, leaving you on your own, Rion, the ogre approaches, picks you up, and looks at you for a moment. It then proceeds to walk round to the back of the orphanage, and round the back of the orphanage where you used to play in the towards where the woodland area is with your friends and with Masking Shadows. You see a number of gravestones. The ogre moves to an empty grave and throws you into it. Paralyzed by your fear, you're unable to move or make a sound as the ogre begins to shovel dirt on top of you. As you become covered, you watch as the ogre's form shifts to that of an older version of yourself, with a sickly look to your features. As your older self stops shuffling the dirt onto you, leaving just one of your eyes exposed. And as you look up to this figure, it just looks up at the sky, and you watch as it begins to age. The sun and the moon begin to rise and set over its form, and as it begins to grow older and thinner and more grotesque, its body begins to flake and disappear away, leaving you on your own in the dirt, in the ground. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, please?
What? I'm so bad at these. That's a 3.
Okay. As your eye is looking up for the audience, you'll see a very large crack begin to form, going right down into your cheek. Let's roll another dice, shall we, for everybody else? Can we have a D4 this time? Who wants to roll that?
Not it.
Fine. Oh, 1.
1. Okie dokie. So, for the rest of you, leaving Rion behind, you run through the door away from the ogre. But as soon as you step over the threshold, that feeling of fear disappears. But as you turn to look back through the door to see if you can go back to Rion, to see if you can get back to them in any sort of way, you're unable to, as the door is now closed. Trying to open it, it does not open.
This can't be real. There is some kind of strange. This is some kind of magic, surely. Can we still see? Are we inside a building? Can we see the conductor still looking down at us through the roof?
You can indeed. So the orchestra music is still playing in the background. It's like a very low background music. And you now find yourselves in a long corridor. As you look up and down the corridor, you can see that there are windows on the right-hand side, and there are various paintings and sigils on the left. And right at the end is a pair of double doors. If you would like to make a perception check for me, you can see if you can see the conductor. Zana, you also notice that you have a large book in your hands that you didn't have before.
I also have a question.
Yeah.
Do I have my mechanical pseudo dragon with me?
The pseudo dragon you would have, yes, but not the beetle.
Not the beetle. Are the windows open?
They're closed, but the curtains are open, if that makes sense. Yes.
Can I quickly try and open a window?
You can try. It doesn't open. What did you roll on perception, Ak?
13.
I got 16.
16. Okay.
17
So,
for me.
I mean, that's all good. You all rolled high enough. So, are you all looking out the windows, or do you want to be looking around the corridor itself, or you can split the perception check up if you want to?
I'm specifically trying to look at the conductor and see what their reaction is. If they've said or done anything, or just even had a facial reaction to the fact that we're all split up and confused.
Okay.
I'm looking for the exits.
And I'm looking at the paintings and the symbols.
Okay, so for exits, obviously the door that you've come through is shut and unopenable. Unopenable? That's a word. That's a word now. And the door right at the end seems to be the only way to progress, basically. In terms of what's outside the window, as you look out the window, you can see that you are high up, likely in a tower of some sort. Those of you who look out the window and are well-travelled, you can see the landscape and cityscape, should I say, of Waterdeep. The same dome shape can be seen outside the window, covering the building, and the conductor is in the clouds again, just beyond the dome itself, with seemingly a big grin on their faceless face, as it were. Because what they look like hasn't been revealed yet.
I have a question, Josh, and this is probably a question that you're going to say no to, which is fine, but I want to ask it anyway. Can I tell, does it feel like we've been shrunk small, or the conductor is just very big?
You could make me... this is an interesting... You could make me your choice of Arcana or Investigation.
Oh, Arcana, please. That's 28.
So with a 28, which is a very high roll, it doesn't feel like you've been shrunk. It definitely gives that effect with the fact that it feels like you're in some sort of a dome, but you can, with your innate magical or your divine connection that you have to Ogmar, you can feel that there is a lot of magic that shouldn't be here is around you at the moment. And you've got, with a 28, I'll also let you know that that fog that you could see in the previous area is here as well. And it's that sort of fog that you would get if you were dreaming, like a haze.
I guess what Ak is trying to figure out is, if we were shrunk really small and I was to cast a spell that had, say, a range of 60 feet, would the conductor be within 60 feet because actually we're really small and being held in their hands? Or is that now relative to where we are? So it's 60 feet comparable to the size I am now. But yeah.
60 feet would be comparable to the size you are now, yeah. If you are small, that is.
If we are.
Trying to catch me out with what I was saying there.
Just going to check these things, you know?
But yeah.
Okay.
He's there outside. You're in a dome in a tall building with the cityscape of Waterdeep off in the distance. In terms of paintings and sigils, the paintings depict various different merchants by the look of it, all whose faces and names are blurred and unreadable. The sigil itself has GTG on it. Zana, you would know this sigil as Gallifrey's Goods and Trade. This is your father's company. That's when it dawns on you that this is the moment that you've been dreading. The book in your hands, if you were to look at it, is an account of all of the business transactions that your store in Neverwinter has done over the past year. since you've been in Neverwinter.
No. Frantically looking through the pages. Oh, no. No. I'm not ready yet. No.
What seems to be the problem, Ms. Zana?
I don't... The accounts... Okay, they're not as good as I'd like them to be, and if we are where I think we are...
We're in an orphanage, aren't we? You haven't been here before, have you?
This certainly ain't no orphanage. This is Daddy's office.
I don't think you are in your father's office. I think this is some kind of illusion. We have lost Rion, and I would be unwanting to lose you too. It is best to remember that where we are is not real. Look, and then I'll try to smash the window because you said it wasn't opening. I'll just see if it'll smash.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
That is that's a 16 on the dice. For
Plus a lot,
7.
I'm going to guess. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you hit the window and the glass shatters. But as you look at it, the glass is still there.
Yeah, see? We weren't together. There's no reason we should be together now.
Right. That makes sense. That's good thinking. Right.
But just remember that it's not real.
Right.
Whatever it is, it might feel real, it might look real, but it's not. And then I'll look at the window again in its weird shattered state.
I mean, it is a weird shattered state because the window itself is as if it hasn't been touched, but there's glass on the inside and there's glass on the window ledge on the outside as well. As if it has been smashed.
So we just need to find Rion and get out of this what, illusion, enchantment? Well, we've been charmed.
Something of the variety, I suppose. I mean, I could try and... I feel like these the magics that are binding us here are too powerful for me to be able to dispel, as it were, even if I were to try. I don't want to waste my only third level spell slot left.
I will kind of reach up, and if Miss Zana would wanted to take my hand, I would be kind of reaching up to. Kind of, it's all right, but we'll stick together.
That's right. Just like always. All right. If we are being charmed, I'm a half elf. It's supposed to be hard.
But not impossible, right?
Well, sure. Right. I remember that. Okay.
Do we think if this location feels personal and somewhat intimidating to you, Ms. Zana, that the previous location, yes, Rion said that was that was somewhere that they knew. Yes, the orphanage.
Right.
So perhaps if we're going to be each individually encountering something, and it looks like you're next, Ms. Zana, maybe I will try to help. And I will... Essentially, I'm going to cast guidance, but I would like to sort of hold the action of casting guidance until it looks like something is about to happen. Or is happening, other than us just being in a corridor.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. As you sort of hold the spell, as it were, the double door... Yeah, you follow behind Zana going...
I'm already ready to slap you with it.
The last 10 minutes, I think.
There's only 1 minute.
Yeah.
Just every minute a tap on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Don't. You get bored of poking Zana in the shoulder, so you eventually start doing it in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the cheek.
That's nice. That feels nice. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it.
The door at the other end opens, or one of the doors opens, and out comes a very skinny, hunched over elderly gentleman. looks towards you, looks towards all of you, and goes, "Master Gallifrey, we'll see you now, Lady Zana. This way!" And his long, gangly fingers gesture for you to walk towards him.
My tummy's all squiggly.
Are they the end doors, or was that a different set of doors?
Sorry?
Was that the end doors or a different set of doors?
It's the doors right at the end.
Okay.
We're with you. We're with you. I kind of reach the other hand over my head to kind of pat your hand. We can do it. We're here for you.
Okay. Starts walking, but is with the free hand is ready to fuzz a book. I'll throw it in their face, I swear.
As you step into the office of your father with your friends, minus Rion, you see a large open space that you've seen many times before in your youth. In the middle of the room is a large oak desk with an older man sitting, reading through a book with a pair of glasses. He seems to be reading this book and then writing something down in another book. Oddly enough, in a chair in front of him sits Rion, completely covered in dirt. But your father is not paying any attention to the fact that he's there, but they're there.
Rion, what happened?
Am I conscious? Am I?
Yourself, if the group were to look at you, you've got a large crack going down the side of your face.
Oh, wait. How did I get here?
Don't know, but this is most concerning. I'm sorry that we ran away from you. It was something of a compulsion.
That's okay. I wish I could have run away. I just froze.
But you are here now.
Yeah. Where's here?
It's my daddy's office.
Right.
That's my daddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He begins clicking his fingers towards you. I don't know if that's picking that up, but he's clicking his fingers towards you, not looking up at you, and holding his hand out.
What the hell do you want?
It doesn't answer you.
That's very rude.
I'm
Hello?
going to climb up on the desk and rip the paper out of his hands.
So you climb up on the desk and you rip the paper out of one of the books because his hand's empty at the minute.
Sorry,
rip the
I
paper
thought
out of.
I misunderstood.
That's right, but you can rip one of the pages out of the book, and as you rip the page out of the book, similar to the glass effect outside, you have the paper in your hand, but it hasn't actually ripped out of the book.
Yeah, this is. I don't know what's going on here.
Yes, Daddy?
Book, he just says.
One moment.
You have got this.
All right. Walks up to the desk.
He snatches it out of your hand, moves the book that he was reading through, puts it to the side, opens the book the book you've just given him, and begins reading through it. He's not reading through it for very long before he lets out a really disgusting scoff. Is this what you've been doing for the past year?
Yes, it's been pretty slow, but we're getting there. It's picking up. See?
Right. And what's this, Rhodey? You've gone into business with somebody else. Our family don't go into business with anybody else. What a failure.
Well, to rent out the space, I had to do a dual plot. You see, it was much cheaper for my budget, and Rhodey's very good at the paperwork and really good at what he does.
Right. One of my children can't go into business on their own without daddy's support. You know your brother is commanding one of the strongest merchant fleets in all of Faerun.
I'm sure he is. But that's with assistance. I've been on my own with Rhodey, and we've been going strong on our own from scratch.
I don't see this as a successful endeavor, do you?
Well, like I said, business has been picking up. It has been picking up. The numbers are right there.
These numbers are pathetic for what you should be doing, for what you should be getting. You're splitting your profits with somebody else. For one thing.
Well, it has to be. Workers have to be paid for, and rent has to be paid for, and materials have to be sourced from good enough places. Actually, it's pretty good for where we're at.
No, this is not good enough, I'm afraid. It sort of throws the book on the floor. Still doesn't look at you. Can you make me an intelligence saving throw, please? I changed it this time. It's not wisdom.
Guidance. Oh no. Wait, can you do guidance on the saving throw?
I think so.
Ability checks.
+7. And that was rubbish. Can I do the add the D4?
Yeah, go on then. I'll let you do it.
Yay!
I'm being a bit harsh on everyone, so I'll let you do it.
12!
You can't help but feel completely inadequate in your father's eyes, and uncontrollably a tear begins to fall out. Crying. How pathetic. How do you think that you can be a part of this family if you do not have the stomach to start your own business up on your own? Employing people, sourcing out your own materials. Why, when I started off all of this, it was all done by my own sweat and blood. I didn't employ anybody, not until I had at least 2 shops going. You're pathetic.
May I try and cast command mid-rant?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll work, but I would like to. Gar will raise up a hand and just say, "Quiet."
Ack.
Ack. Thank you. I had a different character called Gar that's very similar to this character. Excuse me. The target needs to make a wisdom saving throw if it indeed can. I don't know if it can.
I rolled a natural 20 for a 21.
But it can roll a wisdom saving throw.
It can. You cast command. Now, normally when you cast any sort of charm spell, the figure, the target that you cast it on, knows that it's been cast on it. Zana's father doesn't seem to pay any attention to the fact that you just cast a spell on him. He looks towards all of you.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
I don't need your apologies. I want you to be better. To honor our name, you should be better. And you watch as your name appears above his head. And it says Miss Zana Gallifrey. Until you've earned it, you will no longer be known as this. And he rips away the Gallifrey part. As for the rest of you, and he points to all of you, escort these ruffians out. They've been a bad influence on my daughter, and you all feel that you're being shunted out back through the door that you've just come through, everybody but Zana, and you're just pushed out of the door, and the door shuts.
And I try and hang on because I'm holding Zana's hand. I would like to hold on as long as I can.
Yeah, make a strength. You can make athletics or a saving throw, whichever is better.
They are both a -2.
Okay.
That's a 5.
Okay, so you hold on for a little bit longer than everybody else who has already been pushed out, but eventually you do let go and you are all pushed out of the door. I think it's time for another dice roll. Can somebody roll me a D3, please?
D3?
D6.5, yeah. D6.5 it.
I've not rolled one yet. That is a 3, so I guess it's a 1, or do you want it to be a 3?
That'd be a 2.
Sure.
Half and round up.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's how it works. Anyway, as you are shunted from Lord Gallifrey's office, you find that you're not actually in that corridor like you were before. This time, you look around and you find yourselves in a shop. All of you, including Rion, would know this shop to be Rhodey's shop. Monty Dax's Nicks and Nax's.
I wouldn't know that, would I?
If you... Ack would have been a frequent visitor of both shops with Dr. Wigglestitch, so it's up to you if you'd come there during the time that you've been with Ack.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
They do lots of interesting shiny knickknacks. You might like them.
However, there are no shiny knickknacks on the shelves. There is a strange red glow.
No knickknacks?
I thought this was Rhodey's nightmare.
I know. I'm just picking on Ack in all of them. There is a strange red glow come from outside. The shelves are completely bare, and behind the counter, on the floor, on their knees, crying, is Zana. You can also hear the sounds of wing beats from outside.
What kind of wing beats? Are we talking birds? Are we talking bats?
Something large.
A bee?
Fuzzy
I'm
wing
going to have a
beats?
look out a window, I think.
Oh dear.
You can make me a perception check, please.
Oh no.
18.
Okay. Looking outside, you can see the same dome shape is sort of over the area that you're in. But everything is red, save for a long white light that seems to be coming from a crack that's going up on the left-hand side. Amun, without even having to roll, the way that the red is moving, it is as if it's like a heartbeat. The conductor's face can be seen within the red wall, watching everything that you're doing with the orchestra music still playing in the background. You also notice with that perception check as well that there are creatures that are flying around. These creatures look like large moths, and they seem to be circling what looks to be a very large metal or artificial heart that has wires coming out of it that don't seem to be plugged into anything or connected. And between where the shop is and where the heart is, which has a door in it, there is a bunch of red, as if like a red path, which looks squishy. Inside the shop, if anybody would like to look in the shop, there's nothing in there, as I said. The only thing that you find just underneath, I think Miss Anna would find this, being as you are behind the counter, right like underneath the counter where you'd keep the money and everything, there is a single folded up piece of paper.
How's my emotional state at the moment? Am I just... I was like,
I mean, that's up to you. If you want to open it, you can.
I was going to say, while the others were looking outside, maybe before this happens, Ak would have gone over to Ms. Zana, who has historically been very kind and soft and sweet to them. And they're not particularly good with touchy-feely comforty, but they know that she is. So they'll sort of lean over and put a hand on her shoulder, and you'll just hear your own voice parroted back at you. Oh, you're right, darling. Come now. You'll be okay.
Thank you.
What's her face look like?
Does she have a crack on her face?
She does have a significant crack that has formed on her face.
Fuck!
Cracky face.
You do notice, though, that although these cracks have formed, there is no blue glow underneath. Yet.
What's in the paper?
Oh, what's in the paper? Sorry. As you open up the bit of paper, I don't know with anybody else, but whenever I open a letter, the first thing I look at is who it's addressed to, and the last thing I look at, and the next thing I look at is who it's from. I don't look at I look at the what's in between last. So you do that, and you see that it is addressed to Rhodey, and it is signed by Dr. Whipplestitch. And the general gist of the letter is that, yes, if you are able to find a suitable replacement, she will perform the, experimental surgery, transplant surgery on you with the help of Ak.
Oh, we definitely know what this is. Look, I show Ak the letter.
But I've had it. It's done. I don't need.
You have. We did it. We sorted you out.
So I've got to. It's not real. So I've got to find it again. Is that?
No, you're in working order, darling. You're fine.
What?
You're fine.
It's going at a very extraordinary rate.
You do feel a tug at your chest as if your heart is beginning to be pulled out.
Could I do a basic medical check to see what? I mean, I've not taken proficiency in medicine like a fool, but could I do essentially just a like?
Yeah.
It's beaten up.
Yeah, you definitely can. Yeah, make a medicine check.
Oh, that's a non-nat 20.
Hey.
So yes, it is beating faster than it probably would do. You can hear the mechanical contraptions on the inside working away as it is an artificial heart. You do feel, though, do you have anything metal on you anywhere, Ak?
Oh, probably only like little clips as part of the uniform. Oh, they have a quill. They have a quill around their neck. So the nib of the quill would be metal.
So you would feel, or you would see and feel the tug of the quill as it begins to lift up and move towards Rhodey's chest. And as that happens, Rhodey, you feel the tug try to match the necklace.
Yeah. Is that a magnet? You can't get magnets near it. It's metal.
This is not intentional. I do assure you. My quill is pulling towards you. Are you the magnet?
No. That. Yeah. No. We didn't put a magnet in there, did we?
I don't remember doing it.
No magnets. No.
I'm gonna need a new one.
The one you have is fine.
I suppose, lest I remind you that this is all not real, as far as we have gathered so far. Right? We know that we've done the surgery already, so whilst it is beating faster, and this is some strange circumstances for certain, it's probably fine.
Can I roll to see if that helps? Do I hear it?
Yeah, you can. You hear it. You can definitely roll to see if that helps. I would say, let's make it a charisma saving throw.
Actually, quite good. That'd be a 24.
Yeah, you definitely feel a little more at ease until you feel the next pull, and then you go straight back into panic mode again.
Oh no! I'm gonna need a hat. Has anyone got a hat? I need a hat.
Amun's going to point to the massive one outside.
No.
What is that thing out there?
It's a heart.
I go peep at the heart outside.
The heart itself is probably about 100 feet away from where you are, and if you were to look at it, it rivals the size of the shop that you're in, which you've noticed is only one single level. There is no downstairs. There's stairs, but there is no downstairs to get to Zana's shop.
It's a little weird, but all right.
Regret to inform you, I don't think I could fit that inside your chest, even if I was as skilled as Dr. Whipplestitch.
I think it's all a metaphor.
Oh, so what you're saying is that we just need to get to the heart, and then my heart will be fine.
I don't really know. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert at dream walking, but I've heard people have done it in stories, and it sounds pretty cool. There's a great one about somebody who put an idea in someone's head through dreams. It's crazy. I don't believe it.
Well, we're gonna have to try, aren't we? Did you say there was a door directly to outside, or is it just going to be windows?
There is a door that would lead out of the shop to go. What would be, because you would have a set of stairs that would lead up to just your shop. It would be that same sort of thing, but except there are no stairs. It would just be the door out.
Yeah. I mean, I know what's out there, but Rhodey's just out of fear and wanting to get to the heart is going to open it.
Okay, so you open the door. Are you all going?
Yeah. I'm being really careful though, because I'm covered in metal.
Yep. As you all begin moving across, the red substance that you're walking across is very squishy. Very, very, very squishy. You could probably trampoline on it if you wanted to. It's that squishy.
I don't want to.
You don't want to, that's fine. But as you begin making your way towards it, you probably get about 30 feet when you hear the beating sounds of wings get louder and louder. And over the top of the artificial heart come 3 giant moth creatures that begin flying around all of you. One of them lands directly in your path, and the other 2 fly around. I'm going to need everybody to roll me initiative, please. And Rhodey, can you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Yep. Why did I roll good now? I think that's a...
Why did I wait? I was just about to say Rion chucks an axe at one of them.
I rolled a 20 on my initiative and an 8 on my wisdom save.
Sean, I've also rolled a 20 on initiative. What?
I got 3.
16.
21.
Anyway.
Okay, so I'm having to roll physical dice for this, which is fun. Right. At the top of the round, you have 1 moth in front of you, probably 10 feet in front, and then the other 2 are about 20 feet in the air. 1 is to the left of you, 1 is to the right of you, and underneath them is a giant hole that you really don't want to fall into. Rion, you get to go first.
Oh, I am gonna run in and attack the one that's in front of us. I will attack and then 2 weapon attack. So the first will be with my scimitar. That's dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
So that'll be. That'll do 10 damage. And then with my hand axe, it's a 19 to hit.
That hits.
And that'll do 10 damage also.
You move up to the creature with your scimitar and hand axe, 2 massive strikes, catching it in its face area, causing quite catastrophic wounds to it. It is not looking the best. Definitely doesn't look as good as it did before.
Good.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I think that's all I can do.
Okay, so next we have Rhodey or Ak. You can choose who goes first.
I mean, I suspect I know what I'm going to be told happens on my turn. So you go.
Well, I was about to say this is Rhodey's nightmare, so surely you get dibs. But if you want me to go first, I can. Okay. I'm gonna cast the old spiritual weapon. Ak will draw out that quill, trying to turn away from Rhodey so it's not nearby, and will draw another spectral quill in the air and send it flying towards. So we've got the one directly in front of us, and then was it 2 still circling? I'm sorry.
2 that are, one's on the left, one's on the right. They would effectively be circling, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to send it up for one of the ones in the air. That's a +8 to hit. But I rolled rubbish. That's a 13.
13 just misses
Oh,
as the quill. Oh. The quill just seemingly has not formed yet, like in the last combat, and just goes right through the moth.
This quill has failed me every single time.
It just doesn't like forming. You ran out of ink.
I believe in you. Okay, that was my bonus action, and then for my action, Ak will look frustrated at the quill and then quickly sketch a bell and throw it at the one that Rion has just attacked. Could it please make a wisdom saving throw?
It can indeed, and I said I need the physical dice, and I keep putting the physical dice away. That was an 11 on the dice. What was it, wisdom, did you say?
Yes, please.
A 12.
Aha, that fails. It takes 4 plus 7 is an 11 necrotic damage. Please. As Ak tolls the dead. And that is my turn. I'm going to stay with the group.
Awesome. This moth in front looks pretty bloodied now as this bell rings through its ears. The moth have ears, but through whatever it hears through, and its wings almost they jolt upwards as if it's been shocked, and it looks like it's going to tip to the side, but its wings start fluttering again, and it moves back into position. Rhodey, it's your turn now. Every time that you see a moth, you need to hide.
Cool, and I can see a moth.
Yes.
Is there anything that I can hide behind?
Just the people that you're with.
I will hide behind whoever's closest. Which is probably Rion's too close to the moth, so probably Ak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ak has robes, so you can lift and stick your face in the robes to hide. Don't go under the robes.
You can make a stealth check for me.
I feel like that would be a severe invasion of privacy, so I will just hide behind you. 14.
Okay, that's fine. If
I can't see them, they can't see me.
You're sort of the same size. You and Ak are almost similar in size, so in order for you to hide, you kind of mirror what Ak's doing behind them, so you can't be seen. So if Ak lifts their arm up, you lift your arm up as well. to try and stay hidden. At the end of Rhodey's turn, that makes it Zana's turn.
First off, I'm going to shout out, "Don't worry, darling, we're going to shoot him down." And I shoot with my crossbow.
Crossbow.
My crossbow. 17?
17 hits.
Maybe.
Pew pew.
That's a 4 damage. But I get to attack twice. So I'm going to pew again. For 22.
That definitely hits.
Roll for an 8. Yeah.
Wow, my brain does not want to do math at the moment, and I keep thinking I'm muting every time I hit the keyboard, and I'm not. So sorry, everybody who's listening to me hit the keyboards. Anyway, you fire these 2 crossbow bolts off. They both find purchase on one of the 2 flying moths. One of them hits just under where the wing attaches to the body, causes it to falter a little bit, which means that the other bolt looks like it's about to miss, but skims over the top of it, causing a spurt of bug blood to sprout out at the top of it. As it were.
Dust, probably, as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dust. Dusties. Can I send also, for my bonus section, can I send Archimedes, my little friend, up and behind to give the next person advantage?
You can indeed, yeah. Archimedes very much stretches their wings out. You can hear the clocks and begins flying off. Doesn't fly off smoothly like a normal like Fey familiar or normal familiar would. It goes to fly, one of its wings stops working and it falls down a bit and it sort of picks itself up again, keeps doing that, gets round the back of one of the moths. Would you like it to go for the one on the floor or one of the ones in the air?
The one on the floor, the one who's closest.
Closest. Flies round to the back and begins jabbing at it at its rear end with its tail to give that help action.
Is that normal for Archimedes to fly like that, or is that unusual?
He's a little janky.
Okay.
It's a prototype.
He's a little janky.
Okay.
Leaves a little oil patch every now and then.
Oh, he's a good boy, though.
The next
Clean
is
that up.
Amun.
I'm going to bonus action rage, pull out my Adachi sword, and just start cutting this moth to pieces. The one that stood on the ground. I can't fly.
Awesome. That's fine.
I'm
You have
gonna
advantage on the
reckless-
first attack
Ooh, well then I
because of
won't.
the help.
Then I won't bother recklessly attacking yet. So I've already got advantage. So this is probably a bit more of a focus strike for a 22.
22 will hit.
Addition. 2d6 plus something or other. 2d6 plus 4 plus 2. Well, that's 10. 12 points of damage for the first attack. As he kind of comes in, fangs out, just slices into it, and then... Is it advantage again? Or is it...
Help action is just for one attack.
Great. And then I will reckless attack for the final attack. So I think the first attack's a bit more like... kind of like pointed, stabbed in, and then this one's just a... fuck it. And just
As you
smashing
sort of
into
stab in and you draw the blood, the blood sort of goes up into your nostrils, and you feel that rage come on, and you recklessly attack.
That's another 22.
That's going to hit.
So what's in total? Plus 6. Right. 10 points of slashy damage.
How would you like to kill the one on the floor?
I'd just like to behead it. I think he stabs into it, and then as the blood spurts onto his face, he just smashes down on its head and decapitates it, turning to the next one.
You would expect it to be a bit more of an effort to cut through something that's so large, because it doesn't have a neck is per se, but with the amount of force that you put behind it, you easily cleave through this moth's head. And as it splits apart, it just turns into very small moths, a lot of very small moths, and just flutters off away. And no, Rhodey, because there's loads of little moths, you don't need to hide from them. So you're right with that. It's just the big ones.
I say that.
At the end, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Awesome. So at the end of your turn, it is the remaining 2 moths' turns. They are both going to fly around, and they haven't seen Rhodey, so they are going to move in to strike at the 2 people in front, which would be Amon and Rion, yes. So it's going to attack into one into each of you. 2 attacks each. I have to roll physical dice for this. The first one is a dirty 20 to hit against Amon.
Yeah, it's got advantage as well, just to let you know.
Oh, I'll roll that just in case. No, didn't get a 20. And then again is a natural 1, but with advantage is a 10, which I don't think is going to
Can miss. Yeah.
And that is... Oh, actually, that's quite a lot of damage. Should have got my dice ready beforehand. So on the first attack, on the one only attack that hit, that is going to be 12 points of piercing damage, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. It's half to 6, and then a Constitution saving throw. Oh, should we get at these?
Bites down on your arm.
Well, that's not really helpful, is it? A 9.
Okay. As it bites down on your arm, you watch as like this purple ichor goes into your bloodstream. You are poisoned for 1 minute.
Great.
Poison moths.
Poison moths.
Venomoths, one might say.
God damn
Venomoths. If only you had a Pokeball.
That's terrible.
The 2 attacks against Rion. The first one is a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
And the second one will be a... Oh, God. Oh, I had to roll good twice. 22 to hit.
Yes.
So you will take...
Oh, wait. One of them, I'm going to silvery barbs.
Ooh. Okay. Which one would you like to silvery barb? It doesn't really matter. They both hit.
Yeah.
I'll do the last one. 12 plus 4, 16.
Yes.
Who would you like to give the advantage to?
I'll take the advantage.
Okay. So on the first strike, you will take 4 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And the second strike will be, let me move that, 10 points of piercing damage. And you need to make me 2 Constitution saving throws. Please.
One of
if you fail the first one, don't worry about the second one.
Okay. Well, have advantage on the first one then. So that's... Hang on, where's my thing gone for con? 17.
17, fine. And then the second one, please.
16.
16. No, you're fine. You feel the poison try to get into your system, but you quickly rip your arm away before it does. It still causes damage to you, but doesn't actually poison you. At the end of their turn, we move back to the top of the round, and it is Rion's turn.
I mean, if I've got one on me, then I will attack it.
Yep, the one that's on you does look like it's been damaged already.
And is Amun also within 5 feet of this one that's...
I'd say that the strip of red that you're on is probably about 10 feet wide, so you two are probably back to back with each other, with these creatures having just swooped in to attack you.
Right.
They're pretty close.
You'd have
You're very
advantage
close.
on Amun if you were attacking Amun.
Sorry?
Yeah.
So you'd have advantage on Amun if you were attacking Amun.
Only if you consider the bee or moth as the ally.
No, it doesn't have to be my ally. But yeah, okay, fine. Cool. So my scimitar is a 11 to hit, and hand axe is then is a 12 to hit.
That also misses. So as you try to attack with the scimitar and the hand axe, you're not used to fighting in close quarters with an ally this close to you. So you go to raise your hand up and you just knock into Amun's shoulder. You go to pull the axe back to go for a swing and you sort of jab Amun in the back of his butt. You're not able to get that swing around in order to hit the moth. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, it is.
Okay, at the end of your turn, that makes it either Rhodey or Axe turn.
Okay. Again, feel free to say, no, you don't know that, Nat. Shut up. I wonder, having known Rhodey a while, would Ak know if Rhodey has any kind of spellcasting or attacks that he can do blindfolded?
Ooh. I think that's a question for Rhodey.
I mean, off the top of my head, I have no idea, but I imagine I'll find something if you were to give me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
And specifically, Ak would know that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, those trick shots we did on the firing range, you know, just showing off.
Them trick shot times. Good old times down at the firing range. All right.
Yeah, shooting cans off the fence at the back alley behind the shop.
Clocking what's going on with Rhodey cowering, I'm going to grab a strip of bandage from out of my bag, and if you'll allow as an action to tie it around Rhodey's face.
I mean, you can do it as a bonus action if you want.
Sure. Yeah, why not? With the idea of, if it's seeing them that's the problem, maybe try not seeing them.
Oh, okay.
Immediately runs into hole.
Runs off the edge.
I'm going to point him in the general direction that they are, though. Don't move a lot. Don't move far away from me and Mizana. And then I'll cast as my action then. I will cast Toll the Dead on the one fight that. Wait, Amun has not had a chance to fight the one he's fighting yet, correct?
Not yet, no. So the one that's injured is the one fighting Rion.
Maybe instead. Let's go for it. I'm gonna cast as an action Guiding Bolt then at the one attacking Rion.
Okay. Roll that attack roll. Roll that dice.
Roll that dice. That's a 24.
That hits. Roll me some damage.
Boom.
Okay.
Boom.
Boom. Indeed.
Boom, baby.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty boom. That's 19 points of radiant damage, please.
Let me just quickly do some math in my head. That is... Yes, it looks bloodied as it's hit with holy light and looks like it's been singed.
This is Ak has drawn like a little lantern and thrown it at the creature, so the radiant light hits it and then it just stays glowing and making it just a little bit easier for Rion to hit next time. Hopefully.
Advantage on the next hit. Awesome. Is that the end of your turn?
That's action. Bonus action.
Awesome. Okay, Rhodey, it's your turn. You can't see, which means you no longer need to hide from the moths. However, if you hear their wings beating, we will say that you'll stop for just a split second, so you would just lose 5 feet of movement.
Okay. I think that sounds fair. And I've only got 25 feet anyway, so won't be going anywhere fast. Okay, I think that would I've gotten a view of anyone kind of fighting the moss, like taking attacks? Like I know I've been hiding behind Ak, but is there any kind of because obviously both Rion and Amun-ra both like they got hit by the moss, didn't they?
They did, yeah. You wouldn't have been hiding from them to the point where you couldn't see anything, because you need to be able to see when you need to be able to move. So you would see that your friends are fighting them and what condition the ones that they're fighting are in.
And now that I can't see the moss, I can attack if I wanted.
Yes, but it'd just be with disadvantage for being blind.
Well, I would like to cast Wither and Bloom on the area where the moths are. I invoke both death and life on a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point within range. Doesn't say anything about me needing to see it.
No, that's fine. I mean, even if you did need to see it, you're pretty close to where the moths are anyway, and as with most blindfolds and with how quickly it was put on, you could probably see your feet anyway, so you could probably just cast it there if you needed line of sight. There was. But yes, you can cast it wherever you need it to be. Yeah,
I mean, it's a 10-foot radius sphere, and I'm hoping that I'm not that close to the moth. So I will try and kind of focus it on that area. So could the moths both make Constitution saving throws?
They can indeed. Let's just roll that now. That is 11.
Cool. So they...
and
both...
a 17.
Okay. The 17 passes, the 11 fails. Mm-hmm. So one of them takes... The one that failed takes 10 points of necrotic damage, and the other one takes 5 points of necrotic damage. And in addition, did I clock Rion taking more damage in that fight? Would I be able to have... As they kind of took the hits, would I have clocked that Rion got a little bit more hurt?
Yes.
Which I think was right.
I mean, I haven't healed since we started playing this game, so I'm currently at half health.
Okay.
How was this not flagged to me earlier?
Because when everybody asked him, he wasn't really feeling up to being healed.
But are you looking like you're on half health?
Yeah, because I am.
You look bloodied.
Tell you what.
So Amun looks worse than Rion currently.
Okay. If I clocked that Amun looked worse, I would have instinctively given you so that this necrotic energy just like drains out of the moths and heads in your direction. So you may, if you wish, roll one of your unspent hit dice to regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your plus my spellcasting modifier, which is 8.
Nice bit of moth juice.
Do I add my constitution as well?
Go
just
for it.
Yeah.
Cool.
If it's rolling your hit dice as normal.
Yeah, you normally do when you roll hit dice, might as well.
So I got 13 in total, plus 8 is 21.
Nice.
Cool. That though, I don't think I've really.
I approve this message.
I don't have any bonus actions that I want to use right now. I'm happy with my spells and my sorcery points, so I will stick. And that's my turn.
Okay, at the end of Rhodey's turn, a layer action happens. The white crack that there is off in the far distance, a shadow begins to form around it, and you watch as the crack itself begins to expand as this black thing begins to push through. It takes you all a second to realise that it is a rather large gloved hand that is pushed through into this cavern area that you're in and is reaching towards the mechanical heart. And at that point, we are going to take a quick break, 5 to 10 minutes. We shall see you all soon. Whoa. In the first part, our group woke up within a snowy landscape in some sort of a snow globe, as it were. The orphanage that Rion lived at when they were younger in ruins with a strange door that led through to another area. A large ogre attacked. The group ran away, left Rion to fend for themselves. It had nothing to do with the DM whatsoever. It was the players that wanted to be the cowards and run away. Nothing to do with me. Rion got buried alive, and then subsequently come back in Zana's father's office. The group ended up in Waterdeep. Zana gave a book that she had acquired through stepping through the door to her father with all of the accounts and records of the previous year's business that her shop had done in Neverwinter. Her father scoffed at it, wasn't very impressed, caused Zana to break down, and then shooed the ruffians that have put a negative impact on his daughter's life out of the room, causing them to stumble back into what was meant to have been the corridor, but actually turned out to be Rhodey's shop, completely stripped bare of any stock, no access to Zana's shop underneath, and with Zana in a heap behind the counter crying. Outside, a large mechanical heart sits along the edge of a 10-foot wide artery towards a mechanical heart. A large white, sort of almost light is seen in a crack formation in the distance, and large moths are flying around. The group have decided that they need to get to the mechanical heart, as it seems to be some sort of a metaphor, and begun making their way. Rhodey also noticed that there seems to be some sort of a magnetic pull coming from the center of his chest, with axe necklace pulling towards as well. And anything metal feels like it's being pulled towards Rhodey. We ended the last session in the middle of combat with 2 giant moths. Now, it is also the lair action, and this large hand has come through the large white crack in this red cavern and has begun making its way towards the heart to grab and pick it up. It is now Zana's turn.
With my bonus action, I'd like to move Archimedes behind the leftover Mothothus. Is there just one Mothothus left?
There are 2 Mothothithis left. There's one that is with Amun that doesn't look like it's taken much damage, and then there's one that is next to Rion, which looks like it is heavily injured.
I'm gonna try and help Rion, because Rion's been through a lot of shizzle. So Archimedes will move behind that one, and then Ash will shoot it.
You can shoot it. Would you like to use the help action for yourself, or no? Okay.
No. First one is 22.
That hit.
Yeah.
You technically get it with advantage because I'd cast Guiding Bolt on that one.
That is a very good point. So you can roll that again to see if you get a nat 20.
No.
Okey-dokey, but you still hit.
I got a 9 damage for the first one.
9 damage, did you say?
Yes. And my second shot. Oh, it's a 12.
So you hit it, you fire the shot. It's not quite landed yet, so your arrow or your bolt, should I say, goes straight through the wing, one of its wings, causing that wing to stop and just flap limp to the side. It almost does like a 360 turn, probably a 180 turn, and skids onto the artery that you're stood on. And as you go to fire a second shot, the quick motion of how it's shifted and swifted round causes the bolt to go over it and misses, unfortunately. But Archimedes keeps pace with it and stays behind it. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
It is Amun's turn.
Right. It's time to kill this fucking moth. I'm poisoned, so I'll have to reckless attack to get flat rolls.
Indeedy.
And that is a 18 and a 25.
They both hit. Yep, they both hit.
Sweet. Very nice.
Swish.
Ooh. Okay. 16 points of slashing damage on the first one. And max damage for 18 on the second.
Two massive shots as you cleave into this creature. You just go ham at it. You do not want it flying in the air, so you manage to hack both of its wings off as it nosedives into this platform that you're on. Both of the moths are currently together in the same space. Not in the same space, but one's taking up 5 foot, the other one's taking up the other 5 foot, but they're both completely blocking your weight and they're both prone.
Would you land for an offhand bonus on arm strike?
Go for it.
Great. I'm just going to stomp on its head. Oh, hey! I got a 19, so I got 20
It's
something.
prone, so you can see if you get a crit.
Unfortunately, I have disadvantage, so I'm just at
This
a
is a
flat
very
roll.
good point. Okay.
Let me find how much damage I do with an unarmed strike. 5 points of damage.
Now, are you targeting the one that you've just chopped the wings off of, or would you like to target the one that Rion
no, the one that
done?
I'm currently trying to kill.
Okay. You stomp on its head and you crush part of its head, like one of it. You lose its full functionality of one of its eyes, and as you lift your foot out of it, there is a foot imprint in its face. It'll look very nice.
Still kicking, though.
Still kicking, just.
Little shit.
At the end of your turn.
Oh,
that
I'm
is-
raging. That's +2. Sorry. It should have
Oh.
been 7.
Okay, so does that mean it'll be +2 to the previous 2 attacks as well?
No, I've already done that. I just forgot for the last damage.
Okay, so it looks even worse off than what it did before. A stiff breeze will kill it.
That's all we ask for.
At the end of your turn, just as your foot lifts out of this creature's mouth, it is going to very quickly react and bite upwards towards you. It's going to make 2 attacks. I've realised I need to roll physical dice for this. Or remembered I need to roll physical dice for this. You roll reckless, wasn't it? With advantage, that is a 13 and a 5, so that is a 17 to hit.
17 on hit.
Okay. That was 1, so that is 3 points of piercing damage. Can you roll me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Okay. So 3 halved is that 1?
Yes, round down. Why not?
Cool. 1 damage.
Some argue round up, some argue round down. We'll just round down.
The book says round down.
Yeah, it's fine. Round down then.
If I do recall correctly. Only an 11 for my Constitution saving throw.
Exactly what you already poisoned, but that's exactly what you needed as this pulse of energy goes through your leg, not your hand. You feel and resist. You feel your body go to seize up, but you resist it. If you'd failed that, you would have become paralyzed. That's the end of that one's turn. The other one is going to begin crawling towards Rion and is going to take a lunge at you and try and bite you.
Rude.
That is a 11 to hit.
Not.
Second attack is going to be 18 to hit.
Oh, it does.
That is going to be 3 points of piercing damage. And can you roll me a Constitution saving throw? You're not poisoned, are you?
Not yet. Con save. Boom. Boom. 20.
Dirty 20, you're fine. You resist it again and then are able to pull your leg out of this creature's mouth. And that is the end of their turn. We move back to the top of the round, and it is Rion's turn. You have this one moth in front of you that is currently trying to get up on its feet as it's just lunged at you. Doesn't look very healthy. There's also another one over where Amun is having just bit Amun's foot, and also does not look very healthy.
Cool. I am going to take a swing at the one that is in front of me.
Yep.
Balls. That's a 9.
Unfortunately, that misses.
And I will take another swing at it as my bonus.
Archimedes is helping you.
Yes, you get advantage on that first attack. So take the second roll.
Well, that was the second roll. So the second roll, so that was a 16.
That hits.
Cool. What is it? It's one of them. So that's 10 points of damage.
How would you like to kill it?
Chop its head off. I think if I can retcon tiny bit what you said, it hasn't let go. It's bitten and done its 3 points of piercing damage before it can get its poison in. I just scimitar its head off and then just kind of shake it off my leg.
Yeah, you shake it off your leg, and as the head goes to fall down into the chasm that's all around you, and the rest of the body just sort of explode into tiny moths and will fly off.
Nice.
And you still have an attack.
And I will hand axe. I'm going to throw my hand axe at the other one.
Okay.
And that's 13 to hit.
13 just misses as the axe just goes over the top of this moth's head and all goes over the edge. You think it's gone over the edge anyway?
Can I use my movement to move around, not getting too close to the one that's not dead yet, and seeing where my axe has gone?
You run round to the side and you see your axe has gone over the edge, but it seems to have landed on nothing. It's just like there.
Cool. I will not go over the edge myself. Yet.
But it's so tempting. It's just there.
Just waiting for it right there. Right there.
And you hear coming from the face in the wall, "Oh, that would have been interesting."
Lovely.
No.
Nice.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so Rhodey or Ak, one of you two can take your turn now.
Okay.
I believe we ought to try and get to the hut somewhat quicker. You can't see it, but there's a very large hand in the sky reaching towards it.
I was quite happy when I didn't know that, actually, but...
Okay, I'm sorry. I will, for my action, I am going to toll the dead at the remaining moth. Could it please make a wisdom saving throw?
It can. I don't think
Another
it's
bell
going to do
gets
very well.
drawn.
That's a 4.
Oh, that does not succeed, I'm afraid. So that is that's rubbish. Oh, great. That's a total of on 2d12. That is 3 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And I guess I've got my my spiritual weapon. The quill is sat there waiting. Maybe now is its time. Let's try. Let's see. Come on, little baby feather. Okay, there's a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Great. Finally, it does. Rolled a 1 on the damage dice. That's 5 force damage. Just kind of swoops down.
Tell us, Josh, is the moth written off?
It's not been erased just yet.
Waiting to say that since I started casting spiritual weapon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Stupid Sean. Puns.
Is that the end of your turn?
I would like to try and get closer to the heart. The offer of holding Rhodey's hand and leading him up to 30 feet in the direction of the heart is there, but I don't want to dictate what Rhodey does.
No, that's perfectly fine. You attack into this moth with the bells ring, and the eye that had been stamped on sort of explodes a little bit more. Pus comes out of it, and your quill then comes round fully inked up now and stabs into this moth, almost killing it. It's not quite dead yet. I'll tell you how many hit points it's on later, but Rhodey, it's your turn.
I mean, if we are being kind of led, I do only have 25 feet of movement and 20 if I hear moth wings, which I'm presuming that I can.
They've been cut off.
You don't currently, because they've been ripped off of the one that's still alive.
Grim, but cool. So I can move up to 25 feet, which I will follow Ak. And I think as I kind of we get a bit closer, Rhodey reaches a hand out and is trying to trying to kind of cast a spell again, just like calling on the universe to create a spell that might combat this. But he accidentally casts the one spell that he tries to forget, but he can't, since the traumatic event that has caused all of this. I'm casting Infestation, which is unfortunately going to take the form of more moths. But that is a Constitution saving throw, please.
From the moth, yeah?
I'm going to assail the moth with more moths. I'm fighting moths with moth.
Moth with moth, that is a 5.
That is not going to save. That is...
How would you like to kill it?
Oh.
It's on 1 hit point.
It's 2 dice.
Nice. I think just a tide of moths just kind of effervesce from the air around Rhodey's hand, and like just kind of flit past, and the moth just gets assailed by lots of tiny little moths, and much as the other ones kind of broke apart into moths, kind of every moth that hits, there's 2 moths fly off until there's nothing.
The foot, well, no, because your foot isn't in it, but as you've lifted your foot out, Amon, you watch as it all just turns into moths around you. This large hand has begun to reach forward and is pretty much now, the tips of the fingers are now around the heart, and you can see the shadows of more moths beginning to come towards your position. You can't quite hear their wing beats yet, so you're not affected by that at the minute, Rhodey, but what would you all like to do as you exit combat?
I would like to cast Aura of Vitality on myself, if that's all right. And then every 6 seconds, we'll do another 2d6 healing to the next person that needs it. So I don't know how many sets of 6 seconds we have before something else happens, but
well, if you were to move normally 30 feet, 25 to 30 feet that you can, you'd get another 2 rounds in before you get to the door, if that to the heart, if that's where you're running to, or you can just dash and get through it.
Rion would take out a rope and tie a quick little lasso and try and fish their axe back first.
Make a attack with dexterity. You can use proficiency, just if that makes it easier.
Yep, that's... I mean, my attacks are with dex anyway, so yeah, that's 24.
24, yep, so you wrap it around the axe, pull it back, and it flies back into your hand.
Great, cool. I would then, yeah, I guess if I'm following everybody else, if everybody else is heading for the door.
Being led by Ak, I think.
Assuming.
what do we think? Run or run quicker?
I'm following you.
As they run past you, I think.
Go!
As they do, Rion will get 9 points of healing.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so you all run and make your way to the door of the heart as this large hand wraps itself around it and begins to lift it off of the ground. Rhodey, being the slowest, you just manage to get to the heart as it's lifted off, and you jump up and everybody grabs you and pulls you into the door. And the last thing you see of this particular room is a large eye looking through the crack, and a very familiar olden gnomish face as this heart is being pulled out of a chest cavity. But you go into the next room, and I didn't. There we go. I didn't have my notes.
Is it an atrium?
It's not an atrium, no. But you all do fall through the door and instantly find yourselves wet and rocking. The sound of Scarlet.
You've broken Scarlet. Bonk.
The sound of music is playing, but it is also accompanied by the sound of thunder. You each notice that you are on the deck of a ship in the middle of a furious storm. Faceless crew members can be seen running about trying to secure the masts or getting to safety. You notice Dr. Whipplestitch is standing at the front of the ship looking out across the waves. Can you make me an intelligence saving throw, please, Zach?
I can see. Maybe I can. Maybe. A 13.
Okay. Well, you see the doctor there. What would you like to do? The ship is rocking and swaying. The doctor doesn't seem to be doing anything like what the crew are doing. She's just stood there.
I think Ak is looking very confused. Like they're sort of glancing at Amun to see if Amun is looking scared. No.
Amun looks like fine. Just his teeth are kind of like sinking back in, and then he just sort of resumes his normal kind of face.
And will sort of, like the feathers on Ak will sort of bristle a little bit, and they'll sort of hunch and sort of look around and, Dr. Whipplestitch. Dr. Whipplestitch! And
As you try to call out to the doctor, nothing comes out. You're unable to form words, and you try to do some of your sound mimics. You can't even do that. The doctor turns to look at you with a big smile on her face as the ship takes a deep dive into a wave. Can everybody make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Am I still poisoned?
No, you're not. You've found that as
Great.
you've gone through the threshold, you're no longer poisoned.
I have advantage then.
I rolled a natural 20 for a 21.
Awesome. 21.
8.
8, okay.
13.
13.
20.
20, okay. What did you roll, Ag?
8.
8. Okay, so for Amun and Zana, you both are able to grab onto some of the roping that's on the side of the ship before it begins its nosedive. For the rest of you, you all roll, so lose your footing and slide down towards where Dr. Whipplestitch is, who hasn't moved, even though the ship has gone into a complete nosedive. They're still stood upright. You go to grab onto things, and it takes you a little while before you actually do find purchase on the sides of the ship. Ak, you turn to look at where Dr. Whipplestitch is, and she's now gone. A wave having just caressed over the top of the ship.
would it be any noise, or do you think Ak would start crowing?
That's up to you. What do you think?
I think they're trying to say like help, but all that's coming out is ah!
Yeah. That's all any of you can hear looking towards Ak to see if they're okay is just the sounds of crowhawks. And no Dr. Whipplestitch in sight. The ship, as it's gone into the deep nosedive, you know what happens when a ship goes into a deep nosedive? A big wave has come in, so it's now going to go up vertically in order to get over the rest of the wave. You're now all gripped onto various different things, but in order to stay gripped on, you're going to need to make a strength saving throw, please.
There. 17.
11.
8.
14.
I rolled a 2, so it's not a natural 1, but I have a -1, so it's a 1.
Anybody that rolled under a 15,
Yeah, shit.
you find that you can't hold on to the ship with the way that it's rocking, the way that the waves are crashing over the edges, the way that the storm is echoing across the sky. You let go, or are forced to let go, and you fall into the sea itself as the ship carries on and disappears over the wave. Those of you that passed are still on the ship. It's still being rocked by waves, but those of you who failed are currently in the water. Ak, you try to call out, and again, just the crow noises come out.
It's got more and more frantic through that big cresting the wave.
So wait, sorry, who's still on the ship?
Nope.
Is it just Rion?
Just me. I'm the only one left in the ship. Okay, shit. Can I see anyone? Are they like gone?
Nope, they're gone. They're back down a large wave that's just happened. You do notice, though, Rion, that the way that would lead to the below deck part, there's a strange lighting up from it that you feel shouldn't be there.
Okay. And is there a face in the sky still?
There is a face in the sky, yet the large thundering clouds, there is a large grinning face of the faceless face of the conductor. When I say faceless, there's no like distinguishable features on their face.
Right. Probably shout at them a bit. Just a kind of like, what's the bloody point of all this? What are you... Yeah, I'd have a rant for a bit.
Little Rion shouts at Sky.
The sky chooses to not answer you.
Those of us who are in the water, how near are we to each other, or have we just been kind of completely splayed apart?
You can see each other, but there is a bit of a distance between you. I'd say there's probably 15 to 20 feet between each of you in the water.
Could I start swimming towards Ak?
You can, yeah.
I will swim towards someone as well.
We're all going to
Once,
swim at each other.
Once I've reached Ak, I'll be like, I'll just say, can't understand you, but I feel like at some point this will have to end. And it's just like the water's just laughing in his face.
As you're all swimming towards each other and trying to hold yourselves up, as it were, can you all make Constitution, other than Rion, all make Constitution saving throws? Those of you that are wearing armor, roll with disadvantage. Because that shit heavy.
Am I wearing?
18.
I'm not wearing armor, but I do have my Mizium apparatus, which is apparently only 8 pounds. So I don't know.
Still be considered quite heavy in water, I would at least.
Okay. It's disadvantage then.
Disadvantage to any armor, including leather.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Natural one for me.
Oh, no.
No.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Through all of this, Ak has been sort of panicking and only just floundering to keep afloat. Like, they clearly are not competent swimmer at all. But will sort of grab onto Amun as he's got closer, but they're holding on to the quill around their neck, like, for dear life. With disadvantage, I still rolled a 19 on a con save, though.
Wow.
I rolled a nat 20.
5.
Seeing that, like, Axe may be panicking a little bit, Amun will just sort of say, like, the key to swimming is to relax, just breathe, float rather than expend your energy. It'll be fine. We'll get through this together. Come on, breathe with me. And we'll start, like, deep breathing with Ak.
And as you reassure Ak and go to look around, both Rhodey and Zana have disappeared.
Oh, shit.
We'll start panicking again.
All right, just remember, this isn't real. Just keep breathing. This isn't real. This isn't real. Keep breathing.
As a bit more time goes by, can you both make another Constitution saving throw to stay up? Disadvantage if you're wearing armor.
Wait. It's only a 10 this time.
That's still a 15 with disadvantage.
Okay, so as Amun keeps giving you this pep talk and keeps reassuring you that everything's going to be okay, a wave washes over the pair of you, and as you get the water out of your eyes, Amun is gone, and you are on your own.
Ah! It's just splashing and panicking and coring, and well, I don't think, because I'm using the quill as a focus, I don't need. Do I still need both verbal components for a spell, or is the verbal and material? Do I need to have one component?
I think. You just don't need the material components. You can use, as long as it hasn't got a monetary value, you can use the focus.
But
So
I
you
still
still
need
need
to do a verbal.
Hands and
Okay, then I won't cast light on myself. No, they'll just hold on to the quill and panic, and probably, just try and focus on what Amun was saying and keep kicking and trying to remember that it's not real.
And I think eventually, over time, with disadvantage on the con
I'm
save.
going to keep rolling these con saves, Josh. We can.
I mean,
stay
go on
here all
then.
night.
Yeah.
How many times does it take? Okay, well, that one was an 8.
Okay, so it takes one more time. You kick and kick and kick and kick to the point where your body begins to feel utterly exhausted. If I was cruel enough to do exhaustion, you'd probably be at 5 levels or something by this point. But I'm not that cruel. But your body eventually gives, and you sink below the waves. The dark, black ickiness of the water around you just fills the space that you're in. However, you don't feel that sensation that you would if you were underwater. You just sink and sink and sink, endlessly sinking, the top of the water disappearing. Sorry, the surface of the water begins to disappear and everything just becomes complete and utter blackness. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh, you kidding me? That rolled from 11 to a 9. That's still 16.
Okay. Even though you're in this complete and utter darkness, the words of Amon ring in your ears. This is just an illusion. This is not real. And although you feel the crack on the side of your head begin to grow, it seems that it doesn't grow as much as what it did with what you've seen with Zana and what you've seen with Rion and what you've seen with Rhodey. Rion on the ship shouting explicits at the large cloud in the sky.
Having a full-on temper tantrum. Screaming at the sky.
The bright light from the underdeck grows brighter, and you can see that the cloud is smiling deeply.
Cool. Yeah, I think that, there's lots of stamping the feet, who the fuck do you think you are, kind of chat. And then, we'll eventually go down into the glowing doorway.
You walk into the glowing door, and you would think you would walk into something rather bright. You do not. You walk into complete and utter darkness. And there is an element of coldness to the area that you're in. Take a few steps forward, and you kick something or walk into something that is on the floor. Laying on the floor is Rhodey, Zana, Amun, and Ak. You don't walk into each of them. I mean, you can if you want to, but you can just walk into one of them.
Whoever the first one is, you said Rhodey, so I'll lean down and kind of shake him.
Oh,
Are you all right?
I thought I drowned.
So did I.
So we're dead then. How did you die?
No, I just came through a doorway in the ship.
Did you go towards the light? We're dead.
Well, yeah. Have we been dead for all of this? That would maybe make sense.
I don't think we're dead, guys.
Are you sure? You've been dead before?
Apparently.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
I'm saying words.
You are saying words.
Oh, thank goodness. I apologize, everyone.
What?
Well, it was particularly unpleasant.
You know what that creepy face is doing to all of us? It weren't your fault, darling.
I wouldn't feel that bad because if I'm doing the math correctly, you're about to be in my worst nightmare, which I think is going to be a little bit more dangerous.
Oh.
Why is that?
Because I am my worst nightmare. And then he's going to pull out like a little totem and just doing his little prayer again. You probably can hear it this time because he's not bothering to hide it from you. And it's all about being subject to fate and accepting your fate and accepting who you are. And he sort of asks that maybe fate bless them this time, but understands if it's not the right time. And then after like about a minute or so of that, he'll put it away and be like, okay, so where do we go?
The odd thing that you instantly feel when you do that is there's normally a resistance from within, something that wants to be let out, to be allowed to wreak havoc. It's not there. Ak, your passive perception is very high, isn't it?
22.
You can feel that there is a presence in this dark space. Something is shifting around in the darkness itself.
Now that I have my vocal capabilities back, I will mutter under my breath and pull out a little tchotchke from my bag and cast light on it and try and shine it into the corners.
You cast a light, you shine it into the corners. The creature that is within the shadows is just quick enough to evade the light, but you do catch glimpses of it. An arm, a leg, a hand. It's definitely humanoid, but it's moving around and avoiding the light, and it is growing ever colder in this room. Could everybody roll me initiative, please?
Yeah.
11.
20.
Well,
7.
that was so aggressive. I was trying to figure out who said that.
Sounded like Les Dawson there. That was a 7. That wasn't Les Dawson.
What did you roll, Amun?
I got a 15.
15. And Rion, was that a 20 you rolled, or was it higher than that?
23.
23, okay.
Before we do combat, oh gracious DM.
Yes.
But would you accept an argument that there was enough time before Ak truly started panicking for me to ping off the remaining aura of vitality so everyone would be up to full health?
I can do you one better, because I should have been doing it throughout, and I haven't. You can act as if you've had a long rest.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's even better.
lovely.
I'll take that.
It was in my notes that you should have had a long rest between each of the rooms, and I forgot. So
Well,
that's my
We've been
fault.
playing on hard mode.
I know I've been being so conservative.
Firing off fireballs all day. I can't remember how to do it now.
How to ping off fireballs all day.
Mostly with the Misium apparatus.
Oh, okay.
But it's fine, because if I misfire, one of the options is fireball anyway.
Okay, so at the top of the round, we have Rion. You can't see anything. You can't feel the presence of anything. No, sorry. You can't see anything, but you can feel that there is a presence, a very evil presence around somewhere.
And it's dark all around us, or
It's dark all around you. Dark vision does not work.
I mean, I want to try and hide in the darkness.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
18.
18. Okay. You move into the darkness and seemingly hide.
I mean, I guess I want to kind of scout around. Like, if I can feel there's some presence around that I can't see, I want to hide stealthily and scout around to try and see what I can find.
So you move around. The forebodance of evil is all around, but you feel that you've hidden to the point where you're able to maybe pick out a position that it might be in. You can't see anything. One thing you definitely have noticed, all of you would have noticed this, is that there is no face in the sky. There is no visible visage of the conductor anywhere. the end of your turn, as you hide in the darkness, the evil all around you, Rion, get this.
I've hidden as my bonus action. Can I just hold an action to take a swing at anything I see that's not one of us?
You can indeed. And as you hold your action and you feel this enormous presence behind you, you can make an attack roll.
Cool. 20. Yes, 21.
21, that's going to hit.
And that one. Rubbish. That's only 5. Do I get my? Well, do I get advantage for being hidden? Am I hidden from this thing?
You rolled an 18 in your stealth check, didn't you?
Yes.
Then yes, you are hidden from it.
Oh.
In terms of rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it a 25 to hit, but it still wasn't a nat 20. So that was 5, and then I get an extra. So that makes it 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage in total, so that takes to that much. Okay. So you turn around and slash out towards this creature, cutting across a bare chest, and from what you can just about see within 5 feet of it, the wound itself begins to knit itself back together, leaving a very light cut there. And you can see, wearing very familiar clothing, as little of it as there is, slightly bulkier, with a set of bat-like wings sticking out of his back, holding a much larger version of the Adachi that you've seen Amun wield, is Amun, looking at you, dark red eyes and large fangs sticking out of his mouth as he's going to attack you. So the first attack is going to be with the Adachi, which is going to be a 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
And the second is going to be an unarmed strike, which is going to be a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
So instead of doing damage, he grabs you with his offhand round the scruff of your neck and lifts you up, and then takes a step forward into the light. The rest of you now see Rion in Amun's hands, although Amun is also stood with you, but this Amun is much larger, much more imposing. Amun, yourself, I'm going to need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw, please. To see if you are frightened of yourself.
A 19.
You are not frightened of yourself, as this creature just holds Rion up by the throat. Ah, little me, is it?
No.
I will be released.
You are a cheap illusion. I'm much scarier than you. And then I'll pull the sword out.
Nice. At the end of his turn, that makes it Act's turn. No, it makes it Amun's turn.
Great.
All the emotions there.
Bonus action rage, and my fangs will come out. The eyes will go red. And I guess to an extent, I think it is scarier because of his normal demeanor. He's normally quite nice and charming, and then it turns into this horrible monster. And I just launch myself at this thing. I'm just going to attack it twice with the old greatsword.
Go ahead, make your attack rolls.
Okay, I'm going to recklessly attack it, because fuck this piece of shit. Okay, that's a 16 plus 7 for a 21.
That hits.
And a 19 plus 7 for a 26.
That also hits.
Great stuff. 10 for the first attack, and 12 for the second. So 22 points in total. That's me all done. I think, yeah, just launching at it, just hacking away at its chest because it's so big.
I accidentally added way too many zeros on the end of that. on the end of itself.
We killed it!
Whoopsie. Hey! You take the slash attacks at this creature. It moves like you do, whereas you would use your greatsword with two hands. He's using the greatsword with one hand. But you're just quick enough to get past his guard and slash into his ribs, spin the blade around and cut up under his armpit, causing him to wince and buckle downwards a little bit. You watch as the wounds begin to stitch themselves back together, but he still has Rion in a firm grip in his hand.
I was going to say, this is the most Elden Ring thing we've done. Literally fighting a horrible, grotesque version of myself. And I've just staggered it.
Yeah, it now does double damage. At the end of your turn, it is Rhodey's turn.
Ooh, heck.
But before Rhodey takes his turn...
Not my turn.
Sorry, it would be Axe turn. Sorry, my fault. Brain.
Because we're getting on par the whole combat up from now.
Yeah, I've been fairly close to each other. But before your turn, Ak, the evil Amun will look Amun in the eyes and will just pull Rion in and just sink his teeth into Rion's neck, doing a bite attack. That is a 22 to hit you, Rion.
I'm going to silvery barbs that bitch. Hey, get off! And I'm like smacking him in the face.
That is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, it still is.
Okay, you're going to take 9 points of piercing damage and 13 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by the 13.
That's so much better than the Dampier's bite attack.
And
It's not me. That's what I'm saying.
You watch as his wounds heal up even more as he seems to have sucked the life out of Rion.
Sorry, it was 13 off, and how much? What was
13 and 9, so 22 in total.
That would half kill me.
I should actually restate that he actually looks perfectly healthy.
Well, shit.
And Ak, it is your turn.
Sure. Do I try? Do I try? I'm a bit concerned that Amun is right there as well. Okay, we'll start off with the classic bonus action spiritual weapon. The quill comes back out. Come on, little quilly.
Come on, Quilly.
That's a 26 to hit.
26 hits.
And it's gonna do. Yeah. So the the spectral quill appears, and I would like it tries to fly through, and it essentially as evil Amun has gone in for a bite attack, it kind of flies in and tries to boop him on the nose to try and get in between him and Rion. But obviously he's managed to bite first. But to the tune of 6 damage. Force damage. And then I'm going to try and turn undead.
Okie dokie. What do I need to roll for turn undead?
A wisdom save.
Oh.
I guess Amon might need to as well. No?
No,
Not
undead. Dump here.
26.
It's okay then.
Okay. As you call to Ogmar to turn undead on this evil version of Amun, it does nothing. It shrugs it off and laughs and tries to swat away the fly that is your quill.
Well done, Quilly. You got it this time.
At the end of your turn, he's going to use his last legendary action for this turn to take a swipe at you, Ak, for proving to be an annoyance.
Rude.
That is a 23 to hit.
That does hit, yes.
That will be 13 points of slashing damage and 6 points of necrotic damage.
Ow.
As you can see, the Adachi, which is identical to the one that Amun is wielding, is completely caked in a necrotic, fiery energy that as it slashes into you, the wound that it causes pulls your life force out of it and into the blade, causing the blade to glow more.
Great.
And evil Amun will just look to good Amun, I'm going to say that name a lot, and just go, this is the power that we can wield together. If you let me take control.
Amun's raging. He's just just on top of like sort of like on top of him, just like it's gonna keep going, keep attacking.
Will you please clarify, does evil Amun have an evil mustache?
At this moment, the moment I would say that he does now because of
He just
of
has a
your quill.
goatee, like just a black goatee.
He just had this bit to start off with, but now that the quill's attacked him, he's now got the rest of it.
Being
At the end of Axe turn, it's Rhodey's turn.
Okay. Again, the apparatus kind of whirs into life and will start to kind of the gyroscope is going, and like the little microscope has got like several different lenses that are going as he's trying to kind of concoct this spell. The magnifying glass kind of splits off and is going to aim two beads at both Rion and Amun-ra, as I am going to attempt with my Mizium apparatus to twin cast Enlarge on both of you, which is a second level spell, so that'll be an Arcana roll of 14, which I like. So yes, you will both grow in size, and you have the plus. Is it a D4? I should have had it open.
Plus
I
1
approve this
D4 to
message.
attack rolls.
Yes, an extra D4 to attack rolls, and I believe your size increases, so which I'm hoping is going to make Rion large enough to break out of the hand as well.
Yeah, no, that's more than what happens yet. Well, hang on, my English just went out the window there. Yes, that is what happens as you cast it, and as Rion grows in size, Armin's hand cannot grip around the neck and the grip is broken. You are free for the moment.
Cool. And I am still not going to do anything with my bonus action, so that's my turn.
Okie dokie. At the end of your turn, Rhodey, that is going to make it Miss Zana's turn.
Okay. Bonus action. I'm sending Archie behind Scary Amun.
Which
to
one's
not
that?
assist me, but mustache / goatee beard Amun. And I'm going to cast Aid on Ak, Rion, and Rhodey. Boost us up if scary vampy man is going to go for the squishies.
How many?
Okay.
You get 5. Hang on, I have got the. Yeah. I've got the description of my thingies. You get a +5 maximum hit points and 5 to your current hit points for 8 hours. Cool. It'll try to assist.
So Archimedes flies behind evil, scary Armin, and you cast Aid on your comrades. at the end of your turn, it goes back to the top of the round, and it is Rion's turn.
Cool. So now that I've got my reaction back, I think, I was thinking earlier, like in the earlier combat, Rion was needing a long rest and so couldn't rage when got hurt. Now having long rested and with the enlarged sort of kick-starting it as well, they rage, they turn into big ogre thing, and will take a couple of swings at evil Amun. So the first is an 18 to hit.
18 is exactly what you need to hit.
Second one doesn't hit. So first one, scimitar, gets 11? Hang on, sorry. That's 10 points of damage. I am going to... What's the kind of... Where is everybody currently around hit this guy?
It would be a case of you and Amun are in this creature's face, with Zana, Ak, and Rhodey being slightly further back. Ak would probably be a little bit closer than Amun, than Rhodey and Zana, but not by much.
Yeah. Cool. I get to add a d6 from a sneak attack because there's other people. That's only another 1 point of damage. 11, and so then I get to add in one of my, what's the things called? One of my bardic inspirations as I will use a slashing flourish, which means I get to roll another d6, and that's another 6. So all in, that was 17 points of damage.
She calls these strikes against this creature, and various different cuts appear on his body. They begin to sew themselves back together, leaving very superstitious wounds. He's taking some damage.
Superstitious or superficial?
Superficial. They are also superstitious wounds.
Oh, very
They're God-fearing.
Yeah.
Cool, that's me.
Awesome. So at the end of your turn, it is evil, scary Mustachio Armin's turn. You watch as the wounds sort of glow and heal, and his muscles flex out a bit as he heals some hit points. He then sees you, Rhodey, and sees what you've just done to both Armin and Rion, and he just charges forward. Both of you will get attacks of opportunity as he goes towards Rhodey.
Can I aim for his sword arm? I want to chop his hand off and take that sword and shove it up his ass. That's
Is that
the
an
aim.
action, or does that a bonus action as well?
You know, at the moment I've only got a reaction to play with, so it'll be whatever the DM says it is.
I mean, let's go for the trying to cut the hand off first, and then you can do the shoving the big sword up his ass as your turn, perhaps.
I'd like to shout to everyone, he's a vampire. Anything radiant. And I got a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Great. Wee. 12. 17 points of damage, please.
Nice. That is going to be... There we go. So as he almost lunges forward towards Rhodey, his hand that he had Rion gripped with extending forward, you turn it and slice down, getting him across where his ribcage area is, causing blood to just splatter across the floor. The difference with this blood splatter is it doesn't pick up on your senses. It's not tasty to you. But he goes, carry on going forward. And Rion, did you roll?
Yeah, I got 15.
15. So as you go to attack, your reflexes just aren't quite quick enough to pick up with this Amun's reflexes as he goes for an unarmed strike against our good friend Rhodey for a 14 to hit.
I'm gonna silvery barbs.
Oh. So 16 to hit.
Sorry, I just realised I forgot to add my rage bonus last time, so it would have been another 2 points.
It's fine, I can do that.
Thanks.
Yeah, a higher roll is still going to hit me.
Okay, so who would you like to give the advantage to?
I'm going to take it because I'm just about to do a concentration check.
Well, you take no damage from that as he's going to choose to grapple you instead. As he lifts you off the ground, he turns you towards Amun, looks at him, and then sinks his teeth into you. That is a 23 to hit you.
Yeah, that'll get me.
6 points of piercing damage and 9 points of necrotic damage. The 9 points will reduce your total hit point maximum. Okay, 9 that will take me down, and I'll make my concentration roll with advantage still, yeah? Yes, DC 10 because you took 15 damage in total. Well, with advantage, that was an 8, so I'm afraid you both shrink again. So, like Super Mario, you both go boo, 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 and shrink back down to normal size. And losing 5, that gets rid of my aid. So I'm back down to... Wait, it was 5? No, it was 8. Takes me below that. So, and you watch as this vampire's wounds begin to heal up as well from the necrotic damage that you have taken. At the end of his turn, that makes it Amun's turn.
Great. I'm going to stab him twice again. I'm trying to chop off his arm because I want that sword. So I'm just hacking at his sword arm. First attack is a natural 20.
Okay.
Second attack is a 17, which I think misses.
17 will miss. The natural 20 will hit.
Cool.
Now, because it's a natural 20, you could, in this instance, because you've basically called it a cooled shot, you could either do double the damage or you can choose to disarm him.
I'll disarm the gun.
Okay, so you slice down on his hand, you cut the tendons in the wrist. The hand itself doesn't come off, but it does dig deep enough to the point where instinctively his hand lets go of the blade and the blade clatters to the floor. He now has 2 hands available.
I want to pick that blade up, though. Is that possible to do on my turn?
Yeah, you can go to pick that blade up if you want.
Would I have been able to use my second attack with that sword?
Yeah. I like to say that when you go to change weapons, that you can do that as part of your action.
I feel like he'd just throw his blade to the side and like spin round, doing like a nice flip, landing on that sword and picking up like, I'm gonna fucking get you now. Is there any? Is it better? Is it a better sword?
It does 2d6 damage like your greatsword does, but it also does 2d8 necrotic damage.
Okay,
and
so it's not got any pluses to it.
And heals you the necrotic damage that you take.
Cool.
At what cost?
At what cost is the question?
We'll see. It's all a dream anyway. It doesn't matter.
Or doesn't it?
Or is it? There's no conductor here.
Can I use my bonus action to bite him?
You can, yeah. You still need to make your attack first with the new sword that you've acquired. So, yeah, you can do that.
Oh, okay, great. I rolled worse. I rolled 2. Oh, no, that was a 3. But an 8 and a 3 for a 15, I want to say.
So you do your cool, fancy spinning around, grab the blade and try to attack into him. He just moves out of the way and you cut some of his hair off. As you land on the floor, you then go to bite at him. Making me a bite roll.
That's better.
A bad roll.
Bite roll.
The bite roll, please. It is a 20. Yeah, I definitely hit with a 24.
That hits.
Because it's my offhand, I have to minus that damage. So it's only a d4 of damage, which is 3 points of piercing damage. And then I'll add that to my next attack roll when it comes around.
Okay, so you do that. You land, you finish biting him, and you land on the floor. You
I like
notice
to
that
think the bite looks like a headbutt, and then when he like comes away, he's just got a bit of flesh in his mouth that he spits out.
Little bit of flesh hanging off where you didn't quite fully rip all of it off, and you look over to where your old Adachi was, you've just discarded, and it's not there. That's the end of your turn. It would be Axe turn next. However, our vampire friend is going to take another bite out of Rhodey.
No way.
No.
Don't do
That's going to be a 15 to hit.
Quick rules thing. We've had the effects of a long rest. Does that also get rid of my mage armor, or is my mage armor still up?
You could have cast it again if you wanted.
Would I have noticed that it wasn't there?
Yeah, you would have, yeah. I sort of sprung it on you that you had a long rest. It should have been throughout every room, but that's my fault. So
Okay.
yes, I will allow you to have cast mage armor again.
Well, it's 13
only
plus
fair.
my dex, which is, I think, 14. So yeah, it still hits me anyway.
Okay, so you take 7 points of piercing damage and 10 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point total is reduced by 10.
Okay.
5 total hit points max now.
And you watch as he heals.
What was my hit points went down by 8. What did I take on top of that before as well? Do you remember?
I can certainly find it. That was your hit points went down by 9, and you took 6 points of damage. No, sorry, that was against. No, that was against you. Yeah. So that is that was 15 in total.
I am on not much.
Is that hit points left or maximum?
That's my hit points left. My maximum is lower than it started, but not that low.
Okay.
I'm not looking well.
It is Axe turn. You can see that Rhodey in the arms of this vampire that wears the face of Amon is looking very, very ill at the moment, as all of the colour is now drained out of his face. Maybe some of the life force has caused the skin caused the skin to sort of tighten around the bones that are left.
We'll just say, "Hold on, rhododendron," and we'll try and scurry around behind. Like, I know the evil Amun is holding Rhodey up still, right? So I'm going to try and scooch around the other side and grab hold of Rhodey's hand, and you'll just get a blue glide. Am I able to grab his hand?
Yeah.
Just hanging down, I'm assuming. We'll grab your hand, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at a 3rd level, because I have the spell slots back. Oh, that's pretty good. That's 19 hit points.
Nice. I mean, that is my current hit point maximum, so thank you.
Boom.
Great.
With aid.
Oh, lordy.
Well, what does aid do?
Increases your max by... It's your spellcasting mod.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not concentration either, is it?
Nope.
And it's not 10 HP, so it stacks.
Spectral Quill. Old Quilly is going to turn around. I'm assuming a 12 misses, and it
No,
just
12
flies
misses.
past their head.
Pickles.
Just hits
Goes to
Tickles
draw
in
a
its
set of spectacles on him, but misses.
Yeah.
Ah, Quilly.
Is that the end of your turn?
It's the end of my turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, this vampire looks down towards you, pesky little bird, and is going to go for an unarmed strike against you.
Ooh.
I am not here. Pay no attention to the Kenku in the corner.
I clicked the wrong unarmed strike. Where is it? There it is. 26 to hit.
Oh.
Blech.
Oh, hit.
Grabs you.
Yep.
And picks you up. So he's holding both of you by the necks at the moment. At the end of Ack's turn, that is Rhodey's turn. Rhodey, you're currently grappled. You can attempt to break the grapple, but it will take your action to do so. Still able to cast spells. Anything with an attack roll will be with disadvantage.
I've clocked that Ack has been captured, and I don't want Ack to be hurt, so I'm going to use Vortex Warp on Ack to send you away from the fight. You can either make a Constitution saving throw, or which you can choose to fail. Here's the thing: if you pass it, then I can't do it.
I thought you were going to give me another option there. I was like, oh, what's the secret third option? No, I will fail a Constitution saving throw. That's fine.
Please do. Yes, you teleport to an unoccupied space of my choice, so somewhere a decent amount of space away, so that I think I would know how far you can generally move. We fought together, I guess. So
yeah, you wish to, has a distinctly average walking pace.
Yeah, if you wish to run back in, then I'm going to give you that option. But yeah, far enough away that you're not easily accessible either.
Many thanks.
It's okay. That's it on my turn.
Pesky spellcasters.
Oh, actually, bonus action, I'm going to turn a spell slot into sorcery points. Get my 2 sorcery points back.
Okay. Zana.
Yep. Freaking ready. Bonus action. I want to cast Branding Smite.
Okay.
That makes it radiant damage on my crossbow. Just helps with damage. Okay, so I shall do my first attack. Oh, why? Oh, that's a 7. Oh,
7 misses.
yeah.
It hits him, but it shatters on his pectoral.
It's just that.
Stupid firm pecs.
Oh,
He flexes at the right moment and just causes the bolt to shatter.
Stupid
That's
hot
a
evil
14.
oven.
Was that an 18?
14.
14.
The
No,
evil ones are always hot.
Right?
Shoots again, and again he just flexes the other pectoral and it just shatters off of it.
And then
Who could be
twirls his
frightened
mustache.
of this? You know?
Oh,
It's deflecting crossbow bolts with his pecs.
Who would if you could too?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
still got radiant damage going because that lasts for up to a minute, so that's still going. But I didn't hit nothing, so.
So, at the end of your turn, that moves back to the top of the round. It's Rion's turn. You're no longer large.
I'm no longer large mechanically, but I am still quite large because I'm in my raging ogre state.
Still in charge.
No longer large, but somehow in charge.
With a big Raj.
I want to, I guess, grapple him. Just a bit of a, animalistic ogre roar, scream, and I'm going to run at it. And I would like to... I want to do it, try and grab from behind him and sort of pin his arms in such a way that he cannot bite me.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Headlock.
Nat 20!
Nat 20. Okay.
Yes.
You get your arms around and get him into the lock, causing him to not be able to turn his head around to bite you. He is still able to pull Rhodey up if he wants a snack, but he can't get round to get you. Rhodey is the only thing that he can get to.
Cool. What can I do with my bonus actions? Yeah, not much. Yeah, that'll do for now.
Okay. As a legendary action, he is going to take another bite out of Rhodey.
Spare.
24 to hit.
That'll hit.
7 points of piercing damage and 13 points of necrotic damage.
Sorry, how much?
I think you're down.
I think I'm down. How much of that was me reducing my hit points?
13.
Oof. I'm on max of 6. And I'm down.
Oh, can I silvery barb that now? I've got my reaction back.
You can indeed. 19 to hit.
Yeah, that still hits. But wait, 14. No, even a shield won't save me. Yeah, I'm down.
You watch as he sucks the life force out of Rhodey. Rhodey's form becomes gaunt and almost lifeless as he falls unconscious. At the end of that, it is now his turn, and he just carries on sucking.
He does suck.
He sucks. So that was a natural 20 on the hit. Obviously, that would be death saving throws. That'd be 2 death saving throws on that.
I was going to say it's an automatic crit anyway, isn't it? If I'm prone.
So it's a bit of a waste.
2 failures.
Yeah.
And as you're the only thing that he can attack because Rion's got him grappled in a way that he can't do anything else, he's going to attack again. For a 16 to hit.
Yeah. I mean, Rion is screaming and kind of shaking at him, trying to get him off, but also not wanting to let him free.
So as Rhodey dies, because this wasn't death by the vampiric necrotic damage, you won't come back as a vampire spawn. Instead, your life force is drawn out of you and into this creature, and your body just turns to dust.
I guess there's just like a little mechanical heart, just kind of the only thing left, and just drop.
Yeah, just you hear.
I'm going to do the 15 to 1 thing. Where's my light switch? That's not cool. There we go.
At the end of his turn, that makes it Ak's turn.
Ak.
Isn't it my turn?
Isn't it? Yeah, I think it's.
Sorry, yes, Amun's turn, sorry.
Yeah, because I'm pretty pissed. So I think seeing the heart drop, I'm going to just shove this sword into its ribs.
Do not see the power that we could wield together. These pathetic mortals are nothing.
A 19. Fuck you,
19
and your monologue.
I need my bag or monologue.
Do you get advantage?
Yeah, this is all at advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm reckless attacking regardless.
Okay.
And then it's, so 17 plus 7 is a 24. So they both hit.
Yes.
What was it? 2d6 plus what?
2d6 plus 2d6 slashing damage plus 2d8 necrotic damage. Plus modifiers.
8. So the first hit was 23. What's the damage? Do you need it splitting up?
Nope.
Great. The second hit. Oh. Weird. Rolled the exact same numbers on all the dice.
So no, 23.
22. No, I rolled a 7 on the d8s and a 1 on the d6s.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very weird. So that is plus 6 is 22. 22 points in total. And then I'd like to use
FD blows that you just caused on him. Sorry, carry on.
No, yeah. I think it is just that he's just stood underneath it, just shanking this thing in the ribs, and then he's gonna slam the blade into the floor and just again throw his face into its leg and tear out another chunk of its leg with an unarmed fanged bite attack for a bonus action, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I might as well add that 3 to this. I'm not that good at this. I rolled high, so that's good. So 26 to hit.
Hits.
And only a d4 of damage, which is 3 points of piercing damage, and I'll add that again to my next attack roll that I need to.
Okay, so you take another chunk out of his leg. Your pathetic bite attack. You could have so much more. And he just claws at his face, drawing blood, causing it to wrinkle down into his super evil goatee that he has.
I think I just spit out the leg muscle and again, ready for another attack.
At the end of your turn, he's going to take a legendary action to try and break the grapple that Rion has on him. We need to make contested athletics checks, please.
Contested athletics check for big boys.
Roll.
Come on. Feel the pump.
17.
28.
Yeah, right.
So he just flexes and causes the entire... In fact, actually, because this is also Niall's character, so I don't want to make him like the flex god. He uses his wings
No, it's not my
pry
character.
open.
It's a weird dream thing.
The wings fell back into themselves and just erupt outwards, causing you to fall back. And he goes to get ready to take flight, but he doesn't because he can't move. That makes it Axe turn.
Currently just reading through the words of Revivify, and there's just a phrasing, it cannot restore any missing body parts. And I'm like, well, technically, none of Rhodey is missing.
Yes, you could revivify dust if you wanted to.
I feel like that's not the priority right now. Shortly, maybe. We'll see how it goes.
It's all a dream. Don't worry about it.
I think that's the thing. Ak is just muttering, no, it's all an illusion. It will be fine. Rhododendron will come back. It's going to be fine. How is Rion looking?
Angry. Health-wise, not that bad.
Okay, fair enough. And Amun is still all right as well?
I haven't taken a single hit this combat yet. I don't think this thing's interested in killing me.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
They will also say, there's a small part of me that's wondering if, like all of the others, there's the way to get out of this is to submit somehow, but I don't like the sound of that. And instead, I'm going to create and draw another lantern in the air and going to try Guide and Bolt.
Oh,
that's an 18.
Your little bird friend is very clever.
That is an 18.
It's
just hits. I did that at 3rd level. So that is going to... Fwa. It will... Fwa to the tune of 24 radiant damage.
24 radiant damage. The radiant damage hits into this creature, causing significant glow to it, and as the sort of light itself fades, you hear a guttural laugh come from it. Amun, you silly creature, telling them radiance would hurt me. I am like you, am I not? Daywalker is what we're called. We are not like other vampires.
There's my bonus action. The quill is going to come round and try and waft in its face again. And fails. It's just-
Damn it, I wanted that to hit because I wanted the whole it does not work on me and then a monocle gets drawn.
No, it's like, I don't have anything that's like a feather. I'm going to use this owlbear for it's like, he's trying to give his monologue and this spectral feather just starts like...
That's what I'm picturing. Just start stroking his face. Get onto my face.
I have this idea as well now that Rion's just like, what's that feather for? Like, what's it do?
Nothing,
I don't think they realise that it's not working the way it should. I think that this is just what it does. And they're not quite getting what the point is.
At the end of your turn, Rhodey, it's your turn. You feel something within you as you... Oh, like that. There we go. You feel something within you as your eyes begin to slowly open. And you can see that you're sitting in a chair. And next to you is a chair. And then there's a row of chairs on your left, a row of chairs on your right. And sitting in various locations around are your comrades, all with blank expressions on their face, looking towards something in front of them. And you can get a quick look around and you notice that there are other people sitting in chairs. It looks like you're in some sort of ruined theatre of some sort.
Left.
But that's all you can do for this turn, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
It is now Zana's turn.
Just change its colour now.
After seeing Rhodey turn into dust, is going to do a no and try to shoot him.
Can I
know?
after it's taunted me about, you know, it also being immune to sort of sunlight and stuff, can I just shout out, like, kill its mind? Like, if you got anything that's psychic, essentially.
You can say that if you want, yeah.
Just kill its mind! Like, just as, like, blood pouring down my face. Kill its mind!
I'm still going to use Brendan's smite. That's what I got up.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and shoot him. 16?
16 does not hit. Again, bounces. One of the wings comes over and just smacks the bolt away.
Yeah. 24.
24 hits.
Yes.
Roll damage.
Finally!
The branding smite.
Right.
Branding smite of smitiness. Schmoot.
Schmeeten.
Schmootin'.
That is a good point. Sorry, I was blowing my nose and not paying proper attention. You should have done that with advantage because of Guiding Bolt.
I will let you do that on the one that hits to see if you crit. Actually, no, I'll let you do it on the one that misses to see if you hit. Because then that'll be two lots of damage then.
9.
No.
What?
No, it doesn't.
9.
Damage or to hit?
Demirage.
Damarararaj.
Yeah. It's rubbish, but still.
Oh, brain! There we go.
But that is radiant.
It
Radiant.
hits into him. Doesn't seem to have the desired effect on him. It affects him the same way it would affect other creatures.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's not resistant to her or anything.
Oh,
Did I
isn't
get
he?
to...
Isn't he?
He's not resistant to it. He's just not
What a loser. I am.
He's just not. What's the word?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable to it, yeah.
I'll go back
That's
to
why
my
I was
void.
saying the mind thing, because the only thing I am not resistant to is any mind powers.
Yeah.
Mind powers. Did
Mind powers. Is that the end of your turn, Zana?
No, the things are being said while I was trying to calculate as I was rolling. So what was being said?
did she get the advantage? Did you said that she'd be allowed to re-roll the first attack.
Yes, you could re-roll the first attack to see if it hits.
Yes. Come on. These. No, these. 12.
No, unfortunately,
No. Thank
quite
you, though.
guide it. At the end of your turn, this
Bonus
creature...
round. Archimedes goes behind
Archimedes is
to
going to
assist
fly around
the
his
next
head.
person.
So not only does he have this quill stroking the side of his face, he's also got this strange mechanical dragon flying around him as well.
Doing the robot in front of him.
It's just really janky.
It's an amazing noise. Someone should Foley that. That's great.
As a bonus action, he is going to turn and grab Rion around the throat. Not as a bonus action, sorry, as a legendary action.
This again.
17.
Not even resistant to radiant damage.
So he's going to forego to do the damage as usual and grab you by the throat and pick you up. It is now your turn, Rion.
I want to break the grapple.
Okay, make strength saving throw. No, athletics check. It doesn't tell me. It's athletics.
Yeah.
There's a DC for
Hmm,
it.
24.
Yep. So as soon as he picks you up, you just kick off of him and break the grapple.
Cool. I'm going to bonus action disengage. I'll just step back a bit then.
You take a step back and you watch as he begins to build up this rage within him. You pathetic bugs. I would kill all of you. You, Iman. You will unleash me onto the world, whether you like it or not.
You're going to have to do that again because we didn't get your audio.
Can everybody make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh, no.
No.
As this necrotic energy begins building up within him, seemingly being pulled out from the sword that Amun is wielding as well, and it looks like he's about to explode.
Like a massive fart.
Like a massive fart.
Ah,
Unleash me onto this world. I am inside of you.
5?
Did he cast gaseous form?
Possibly.
19.
Only a 13.
Anybody who rolled above a 16 will take half damage. Anybody who rolled below that is going to take full damage. 27 points of necrotic damage.
What's that halved?
As this big shockwave just erupts from him, sort of covering you all in this deep necrotic energy and sapping the life force. It then almost reverses and pulls back into him, pulling your life essence into his body, but instead of it healing the wounds that he's taken, his form seems to bulk out and grow. He begins to grow horns on his head. The wings extend further outwards and more wings grow, and he just roars at you.
Hot.
Very hot.
Even more
And his-
muscular.
Fangs extend. He grows an extra set of fangs, so he's now got top and bottom.
Definitely hot. Yeah, done.
Definitely hot.
right.
And now it's his turn, because that was a legendary action. He is going to grab Rion again, unfortunately. That's a 19. Sorry, that
Yes,
wasn't a legendary action. That was a mythic action. Should specify
Do I have? Hang on, just a sec. I'm trying to remember if I have a reaction currently. If I can silvery barbs it again.
Yes, because you've just had your turn.
Yes, cool. I was one more silvery barbs.
Okay, 18 to hit.
Damn it. Yeah.
And then he will bite you. For a 22.
Yeah, I'm
You
dead.
take 16 points of piercing damage and 16 points of necrotic damage. As he just rips into your flesh and just tears your throat out.
Mm.
Did the 16 drop you to your maximum being 0?
No.
No, but you're just unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you fall unconscious in his hand. That is the end of his turn. That makes it Amon's turn. You can see this very large creature in front of you. Join me and this will all be over.
Before Amun goes, I know it's not technically my turn, so I'm not trying to do anything, but I'm hoping talking as a free action can slide through here. Ak is also looking rough, and is just going to look at Amun and say, I think it might be worth trying something different. And I'd rather it was you than him.
Listen to your little friend, Amun. Think of the havoc we could wreak together.
I believe that you can control it.
Amun's gonna drop the sword, head over to Ak, pick them up fully bodily, and then bite them.
Go for it. Roll with a +10, please.
Oh, I already had a +9, so that's a +19 for a total of 30.
Okay. That hits. Roll 3d6 +5
For the teeth.
for the teeth, and then another 3d6.
You don't need to roll.
All right.
The 3d6 +5 is the piercing damage, and the 3d6 is necrotic damage.
Actually, it's
Which
worth
will you?
rolling to see if you roll higher than 47.
So I got 14 +2, 16 on the first hit, on that first roll of damage, and then the next 3d6. 9.
As you give in to your temptations and go to bite, the rest of you watch as this evil Amon's form begins to turn almost gaseous and attach itself to Amon like a shadow, pulling itself into Amon and creating this essence within him as you bite down on Ak. That's one attack.
Yeah,
You
I'd
can
like to
attack again.
I'd like to then drop Ak down on the floor and look back at where the monster once was.
It is still sort of there, but it's very incorporeal, and you just hear a voice in your head go, "Yes, let me in."
I'll then put my foot on Ak's hand and then crouch right down and just keep going again.
Yep, roll another attack with advantage because Ak is technically prone.
Because Ak is down, unconscious.
Okay. That is 29 this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some more dice out if I'm rolling 3d6.
What is your health if you take off the necrotic damage that you did before Ak or from your health? What is your total max health on at the minute?
9.
Ignoring the max HP modifier that I got from aid as
Yes.
well, then it would be 30.
Okay, so you're fine then. But this is probably going to kill you.
Right, so +5, yeah, that's 16. And then the necrotic damage, is another 17. So yeah, I do kill you outright.
Yeah.
Wow.
You draw, and as the final essence comes
Am I
out...
fully healed, though?
You would be fully healed, yeah? As the final essence comes out of Ak and fully heals you, Ak turns to dust, and the shadowy figure completes its transition into your body. And as this happens, this big, bright white light erupts from your body. Your skin itself becomes radiant white, and your mouth and eyes open, and radiant light comes out of you as this massive explosion happens, enveloping those of you who are left. And then you find that you open your eyes, all of you. And you can see, you begin to wake up. The various nightmares you have had taking its toll on each of you in different ways. The first thing you notice is that you are all together. Everybody who, Ak and Rhodey, who died in that final confrontation, are both there. The second thing you'll notice is you're not alone. Each of you is sitting in a chair, the sort you'd find in the Blue Lake Theatre, except these chairs are old, torn, faded, and covered in a layer of dust. The walls of this theatre are cracked, and the building itself appears to be on a bit of a slant. Around you, you can see others sitting in chairs, expressionless looks on their faces as they are fixated on the stage in front of them. You might recognize some of these people as people who are considered missing. You see Mask and Shadows sitting there. You see Earthos sitting there as well. Amun. You see Dr. Whipplestitch sitting there, all with fixated looks on their faces. And that familiar music is being played. And as you look to the stage, you can see 3 familiar figures, except this time their faces are no longer hidden. And that is where we're going to end tonight's.
Bitch, what?
Who are they?
Who are they? I will give you one slight hint, as I have been alluding to what they look like the entire time. You see strands of red hair on the conductor. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for tonight's show. If you enjoyed tonight, we play every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. BST or 10 a.m. PST. And you can also join us on Fridays for our chat show, Talk Together, or Talking is Free Action, again, from 6 p.m. BST or 10 a.m. PST. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/RollTogetherRPG. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available everywhere. Just search for Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you to our D20 Club. I'm going to do this for them. There'll be links in chat for you to join, and every penny that you can give to us helps us make this awesome content that we do now. Again, big thank you to all of our sponsors and supporters, and don't forget we are all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Thank you for watching. We're going to go and cry in a corner now. Goodbye.
Especially me.